Okay.
I'm going to explain who's in the shootout, and then I'm going to introduce you.
Okay. Okay.
And then I'll lead you through everything.
Okay.
Starts with a P. It's exactly 5. There's no chest. Pat,
Testing. There we go.
Also, guys,
guess
just
I
in
have to
case you
hold it
don't know,
down.
please place your cards like this, whether you play or
I
not.
have to
so
like
the cameras
go like
can see
this
them,
so it doesn't.
and you can fold or
Just don't
play.
move that
It's
much.
actually a dead hand, yo.
Okay.
Okay, we got a 700.
So I get to stand here.
This isn't the World Poker Tour.
Okay.
This is better.
Raise to 700.
That's it?
Not yet.
What's up with the wine, right? I noticed we have one glass here, bro. No, we'll get the glass. And I only have one other request, guys,
Thank you.
because we are live. If you have a cell phone, please use it away from the table, okay? Could you
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web. Or play it if you dare. At the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California. The first and only webcast of live-action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen, and tonight I am here with Shirley Rosario, of course, and the recently WPT Crown Champion, Twan Lee. How's it going tonight, Twan?
Oh, it's going great. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Twan, tonight we are going to be doing a special event here at Live at the Bike. We are doing a $5,000 one-table shootout with some very big local business owners. Again, it was a $5,000 buy-in plus $50 entry fee. Each player received $25,000 in tournament chips. Right now we're in the first level. The lines are 100, 200. The levels are going to be 20 minutes long. And if we can go around, we're going to introduce some of the players right now. In seat number 1, we have Walter Lack, accomplished litigator. Seat number 2, the owner of Mr. Chow's in Beverly Hills, Mike Chow. Seat number 3, we have Ken Berg. Seat number 4 is presently unoccupied. Seat number 5 is Doug Jablon. Seat number 6 is Frank Mariotti, and he's playing with a bounty on his head, and we'll discuss this later. Seat number 7 is Mark Weidman. Seat number 8 is Bobby Ballant. And seat number 9 is our own Yosh Nagano. Twan Lee.
Yes.
He wants to go all in.
Congratulations, man. 2 big wins in a year.
Thank you.
Tell me how you feel, and of course your good buddy there, Hassan Habib, placed in 3rd spot.
Yeah.
Do you just feel that you're kind of really on top of your tournament game right now? How difficult was it for you to pull this one off?
Well, this time it was just a tougher field. We had a world-class field, and there was a lot of chips in play. It was a lot tougher than Foxwoods. Foxwoods I just played and pretty much raised every hand and just got extremely lucky there. So I'm more proud of the way I played poker this time around than versus Foxwoods.
Well, of course, Foxwoods was recently shown on the WPT show on the Travel Channel, and it seems like a couple of times you had called some all-ins there when you might have thought that you were behind and you made a couple of nice draw-outs there, maybe using around your big chip stack.
Yeah.
I was reading over the tournament report this time around and saw that you were up against Maxfield heads up at the end. And he had a top 2 pairs on you with 6-5 on the flop of 6-5-3, and you caught a gut shot when you had 9-8, and that was really the defining hand there in the tournament, right?
That was important, but they didn't realize I had to gamble at that point because the blinds are extremely high, where you really don't have enough play to the hands. So you just pretty much every hand you play, you're pretty much all in at that point. So I just thought it was a good spot for me to select, to go all in. I didn't know he had top 2.
top 2, and he kind of checked you again. The board was 6-5-3.
Yeah.
Kind of showed you some weakness, and you had made that big semi bluff, bet all in, and
I mean the pot had $6 million in there already, and I only had $3.5 million left. It was a tough spot for me to check once he checked.
Right.
With the pot being so big.
Because at that point you didn't know exactly where he was, and you thought maybe you'd take it down with a bet. Right? Well, of course, the Bellagio 5 Diamond Classic was a $25,000 buy-in, unlike Foxwoods events, which was a $10,000 buy-in. So they're going to start you with some more chips, right?
Yeah.
And you thought it was just a tougher field overall?
Yeah, this field was by far a much tougher field than Foxwoods. You had world-class players from all over the world come by and ante up 25,000. I mean, they have a lot of confidence in their play when it comes to ending up 25,000, coming from thousands of miles away.
And I had also heard an interesting story that Hassan had helped to put you into the and maybe correct me if I'm getting this wrong. Hassan had helped you to get you into the Foxwood tournament, and this time around, you helped him to get in this tournament.
Yeah, that's not true. It's actually false.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hassan has helped me get into Foxwoods, but this time, prior to the tournament, we did make a small percent save. It's not like it was huge or anything. But yeah, we did. As far as getting him into a tournament, I didn't help him at all.
Oh, okay. Because for some reason I heard that, and there seems to be a rumor about that. But that's not. You're telling me that's spinning the myth. That's not true.
Yeah, that's completely false.
Oh, I'm glad that you straightened that out. Because, well, you know, very, very interesting. You know, you've been playing tournament poker for what, about 3 or 4 years now?
Actually, tournament poker I just recently started last year.
Last year, so it's only been about 2 years.
Yeah.
What do you think the top thing that you attribute to your success to?
Just the feel.
Is it reading players?
Yeah, just the feel for the game, feel for the moment, and timing. You know, I think I pick my spots, and timing is really important. Where I really know how to utilize it very well.
Utilize your timing and making some plays on players and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Do you feel that you're really aggressive too in the beginning stages of a tournament, or do you like to hold on to your chips? I think it's important to build up a big chip stack.
But then again, that's where timing comes in, and you got to really know how to dictate the momentum when you play. So at the beginning, let's say you don't have no cards. It's just tough to play. So you might want to pick the later rounds to make your move. So timing is important. That's when I say timing. I don't know if a lot of people can relate to that.
Well, it seems like if I were you, I'd be very, very excited about the upcoming World Series.
Yeah, actually, I'm excited about it, but right now I'm so
overjoyed with
the
play, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. Well, it's really interesting that a tournament player, come along with, a couple of years experience and just score very, 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 very big. I think that a lot of tournament players, some of the best players point out that, sometimes it's just a natural instinct that some young players have of reading other players.
Yeah, definitely with today's game, it's the internet allows you to see so many hands, and internet play is based on no limit, so it's there's more tools you could use to apply to the no-limit game. That's why the young players are picking it up so much quicker versus back then when no limit was just in tournaments. Now you have no limit on the internet, no limit in all the casinos,
in live cash
games.
Right.
So it comes in handy.
Do you play on the internet?
Yes, I do play on the internet.
Is that how you started playing tournaments?
No, I played tournaments because the prize pool got so big that it just pretty much cornered everybody to play it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's really interesting. I don't know if you've ever caught the show before live at the bike. It's the first time that we've ever seen hole cards in cash games. And, of course, you've been on the show a few times.
Yeah.
You've played some 300, 600 holes.
Yeah, I've played 3 and 6, 4 and 8 on this show.
Have you been able to catch any of the archives of the shows or gone back and watched?
Oh, no. I've taken a lot of, heavy criticism on the column
from some of the from the people watching your play.
So it's $15 a month. You can go back and look how you played, analyze it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's great. We had one of the big mix games on here about a month ago too, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I really liked your cash game play, aggressive style. How you play to the players that were on the table.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I pretty much do. But you know, it's a limit game, so I probably overdo it most of the times versus no limit when it's probably more appropriate.
Well, you know, tonight, Twan, this is a shootout, and it consists of mostly big-time L.A. local business owners, not necessarily professional poker players. I know that we have Bobby Belan in seed 8, but pretty much everyone else is in Yosh, of course, the host of our game, is a big-time local business owner. And you've played with Jerry Buss, and I don't know if have you played with Frank Mariotti there in seat 6?
Yeah, Frank's actually, me and him, we're friends, and, you know, we go back and forth a lot. He's actually a great guy.
So are you familiar with a lot of the people on the table?
Yeah, I'm actually familiar with most of them, like over 50% of the players on the table.
Who do you think has the strongest skills to maybe take down kind of a one-table satellite shootout like this? Is there any way of predicting?
Other than Yosh and Bobby, or
are there some of the strong business owners here? Some of them play pretty strongly.
Yeah, I would say Kenny Berg because he plays day in and day out, so his instincts and would be probably card sense would be more sharper than the other players. He doesn't play a lot of no limit day in and day out, but he plays a lot of poker, and that's pretty much good sense for him.
Well, it's also funny too. In Los Angeles, of course, some of the best card rooms in the world for playing poker, but you've got all these guys with a lot of money that love to play poker too, so that's going to be great for a big-time poker professional like yourself, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The boom for poker has just been phenomenal.
Yeah. Now look at this. Let's get into a commentary from hand. It looks like Bobby Belan in seed 8 has second pair here. Ken Berg is on the nut flush draw. He's got ace-jack of clubs.
Yeah.
Bobby Belan's bet 2,000 on the flop. He's picked up a gut shot straight draw as the 6 comes on the turn now. He's going to bet 3,000. Kenny Berg quickly calls.
Yeah, if I was Kenny, I'd probably try to move him off the hand at that point.
Look at this. Kenny spikes an ace. And his overcard's going to be good here. He's going to catch the top pair there on the river.
Yeah.
And he's going to check it. So you wonder if Belan's going to be able to maybe move him off the hand here?
No, not at this point.
No.
I mean,
and we do see Ken Berg call there.
Yeah. It's with that image, Bobby could have just checked it.
Yeah, checked it down at the end.
Yeah, because he called the turn and called the flop and called the turn. Even if he assumes he's on the draw, Kenny Berg can't call him without nothing.
I mean, one of the things that I've asked some of the professional poker players about Jerry Buss, I've asked them about his skill, and they said that, well, he's a pretty solid player, but we like to play with him because he isn't necessarily capable of making big moves on you. When he makes a move, he usually has the goods.
Yeah.
He's not going to bluff you out, so you never really have to worry about it.
Yeah, he's pretty
straightforward.
Yeah. One-dimensional versus like all these other young poker stars that are coming up. They, have a lot of play to them, so it's much tougher playing them than Jerry Buss.
Yeah. So you like to play that table with some of these guys, though, obviously.
Yeah. But it's real fun because they have the competitive drive, and it's really good to see that.
And even though these guys are, some of them are multi-billionaires, they're not going to just throw around tens of thousands of dollars like it was nothing.
That's what I mean. It's obviously not playing for the money, but the competitive drive makes the game a lot better.
So again, this is a $5,000 shootout. And looks like we're still in the first level here with the blinds at 100, 200. Obviously, the red chips are $100. I would assume that the blue chips are...
They're 500.
500 and the
100. The blues are probably 100.
Well, it looks like because the blinds are 1 and 2, they put out 1 and 2 there in reds. Here we go. Let's see if we can get a look. I know that they're starting with 25,000. Now, seat 7 here, Mark Wieben, he's got pocket aces.
There we go. The red was 100.
Yeah. The reds are 100.
The yellow are 5.
Yeah, the blackish yellow are 5, so the blue must be 1,000.
1,000. They're pocket aces.
Well, look at this. Pocket aces have been called. Obviously, they don't know they're against aces. 3 ways pre-flop here. Pretty good flop for aces there, Twan, with the 10-deuce-3.
Yeah, now the ace-10 must consider he has the best hand at this point since the ace is just smooth called.
And he has the best kicker with the top pair.
Right.
So Kenny's in a lot of trouble. C3 is in a lot of trouble.
Kenny leads $1,500 into the pot.
Yeah.
Looks like he just got smooth called there by aces.
Yeah, this is a real bad card for the aces, because not only does it slow down his action, it brings a flush on the board.
3 clubs there as the turn comes king of clubs. Have you played with Mark Weidman here before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 3,000.
He's going to bet $3,000.
Yeah, that's a good bet. He has a.
Well, Ken Berg, of course, does not have top pair anymore.
No, that's why the king was actually a really good card for Kenny Berg and a really bad card for the 2 aces.
Because he allows Ken Berg to probably get away from the hand.
Get away from the hand. It's an extremely bad card for the aces.
And he is going to muck there. Mark Weidman's going to take it down there. So you think in terms of obviously the best poker players, or probably the best people that have the most chance of winning would probably be Yosh or Bobby Balan in seeding here of this field.
Yosh and Bobby Balan would probably be my top 2 choices with this field, with this table.
You know, I heard a little talk from some of the players at the table that this might become a weekly thing. I don't know if you'd ever be interested in coming and playing in one of these one tables, maybe for a $10,000 buy-in or something like that.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah. Of course, if you're familiar with looks like we've got our player here in seat 4, and I'll get that name here in a second.
For me, that king of clubs. Wow.
Yeah, very bad.
I was hoping for low cards to keep going. What's that?
Like a big question.
That saved me a lot of money. I know.
His name is Chuck.
That was Kenny's flesh.
Well, we've got a 9-8 king on board here with 2 diamonds. And Chuck there in seat 4 is going to lead with, he's got top 2 pairs there, Twan, king 9.
This is on tape, so I can't lie and say I have the ace of clubs, can I?
You can.
And it looks like Yosh has called in position with his 9-10.
Except Chuck, he's late. So we get.
Yosh is in some big trouble here. He's going to need to get away from the hand, right?
Yeah, he probably will get away from it. Being Yosh, he should consider that he's beaten, realize it that he's beat once he fires again on the turn. It's highly unlikely Yosh will call.
Is it on you, Chuck? Yeah. Okay.
Take out your time. Suggestion.
Kenny, you had queens?
This gives kings up a flush draw as well.
Yeah, it's a really big hand. Monster.
Oh, you had ace 10.
Yeah, Yosh throws it away.
Right.
And that's Chuck there in seat 4.
They're small, you know.
What time did we start, Scott? Denny, what time did we start? Yeah.
No, it's always being a regular winner.
Just one big blank comes around.
Probably.
So, what kind of experience do you have here in like one table satellites? Have you played in some big satellite entries for some of the big tournament events? Have you gotten into big tournaments through one table satellites before?
Just once.
Just once?
Yeah. It's actually pretty good. It's like a final table, basically, when everyone has even amount of chips. It helps your game a lot. I would totally recommend it.
You're the best. And the rest.
Turn card here is a 10. No one really has anything here, Twan.
Yeah.
Looks like ace-6 actually has a second pair there. 10s and 6s.
We'll give him the eagle eye.
Yeah, that's a good bet. It's going to be really tough for seat 5 to call, but
he is going to call.
Yeah,
that's Doug Jablon in seat 5.
Yeah, he probably just thought Mr. Chow was just stealing.
And Twan, and 6s and 10s is going to take it down. Mr. Chow there, Twan, of course, is the owner of Mr. Chow's great Chinese restaurant in Beverly Hills. Have you been there before?
Yes, it's a fabulous restaurant.
Well, it's the best Chinese restaurant in town, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And you've played with him before as well.
I've played with him for about 2 years now. Great guy.
You know, all these guys have told me, I did a quick little bit of pre-interview with them before the show, that they play a weekly game together almost every week.
I've heard about
that. It's a pot limit Hold'em game.
Yeah, dealer's choice or something like that.
And so they're very familiar with each other's play. And, of course, we see Kenny Berg down here all the time. Jerry Buss comes down here a lot as well.
Yeah, I've played with Jerry a lot. He's actually, you know, really cool, and he's a nice guy.
I got a good hand.
Raise me or call me, huh?
Well, look at this. Seat number 7. It's Mark Weidman. He's piped up pocket queens. Frank Mariotti's got pocket 7s there to his right. And seat 5 is going to call with a queen jack offsuit. Wow, 6-8-6. You wonder how Frank is going to play here with his pocket 7s. You might think he's got the best hand, right?
That's a good play. I would probably play it the same way how he's playing it right now.
He's going to bet 1,100 into the pot. Look at this. Pocket queen's just cold calls.
Yeah, I would probably... They're playing it just right. I would probably play it the same way.
Kind of slow play there if you got queens. Well, you got to think that 7s is going to bet in again, right? On the turn.
A prohibitive favorite.
3,500.
Wow. Okay.
Look at this, he folds. Well, maybe he's got a read on him.
Yeah, that's an excellent fold.
Excellent read, right?
Yeah, but 3,500, tough call as well.
Of course, we're still in the first couple of stages of the tournament. Yeah. No one wants to go bust out first, right?
It's really early.
Yeah.
It's a good lay down.
Looks like a couple of people are enjoying some wine there.
We don't know where that is.
Now, we've seen, seems like every WPT winner over the last few months has got their cover on Card Player. I would assume now that you're probably going to be another big feature.
I didn't do the first cover because I was just, really busy. I didn't think nothing much of it.
Right.
I really was more stoked about the money than anything, and I got a lot of heat for that. And this time I said I'm going to do the cover. It's coming out, I think, in 2 weeks.
Oh, great. Well, definitely, people probably would expect that you would be on the cover as great tournament success lately. Do you play in some of the, are you going to start to play in some of the more exotic tournament games the World Series of Poker has, like El Pot Limit, Omaha High, maybe some low-ball games that you play in your normal cash mix games that you play here?
I haven't really considered anything about playing much yet. I'm going to take it like day by day, or just see where it takes me next.
Yeah.
I really haven't had much planning for as far as my future is concerned with poker. I should, but I haven't had time to sit down and reflect.
Well, I think if I was in your situation, I'd probably be really ecstatic as well.
Yeah.
Not thinking about the future that much. Look at this, a third diamond on the turn. Seat number 8 there.
1,500.
Bobby Bland, he's got King Jack.
Race.
Frank Mariotti has led there with a 5-6. Bobby Bland's going to raise.
That's a really aggressive play, which is...
If Frank folds.
Yeah, that's a really aggressive play. It's a good play, considering he got him to fold, and he doesn't have a diamond.
Now, for all the viewers out there, I mentioned, again, I'm not exactly sure what the bounty is on Frank. It's $5,000, I'm being told. So there's a $5,000 bounty on Frank Mariotti,
you get your buy-in back if you knock out Frank Mariotti.
Right.
Making a statement.
That makes the game a little bit more interesting. He's going to get a lot more action than he probably wants.
May not be true.
Well, it's funny, and you wonder how if that would change his play up there, too, where he's going to tighten up because he doesn't want to get knocked out early.
Yeah.
Well. And we've seen him make some pretty good laydowns there the first few
he's playing really great poker.
1,200.
Seat number 4 there is going to raise to 1,200. He has an ace-6 suited there. Immediately to his left, we've got an ace-jack offsuit from seat number 5. So it's going to be heads up. Jug Jablon has position here. An interesting flop. Jack 4 Queen Rainbow.
Check.
Looks like Chuck has checked. Look at this. Ace-Jack checks right behind from position.
Yeah, that's he probably didn't want to get checked raised.
Well, Chuck's going to pick up third pair here on the turn with his ace-6.
Yeah, he's still in bad shape. Still like he's a huge dog to win this pot. But by betting him, it allows him to win the pot without having the best hand.
Seemed like Doug was, maybe I don't know if he's trying to lay a trap here, if he's playing a little bit timid because he's scared that he might not have the best hand.
Yeah, but he's going to call.
At least call, right?
Yeah, he's going to at least call.
And he does call.
I've never seen Doug play this is 6.
Look at this. It goes check, check on the river. And,
what were we saying?
I've never seen you be so intense.
Ace-Jack is going to take it down.
I told you.
I'd like to hear a little more jabber.
You know what? The jabber when I win, but
Twan,
tournaments, I'm not the loosey goose that I am in the whole game.
Interesting. It seems like they're playing a little, they're playing a little bit conservatively here on the first couple of levels. It's, we see that in any level tournament. Of course, this is a huge tournament, and we're going to get the payout structure to you as well. In terms of the first and second spot. I do not believe it's winner take all. I think it might get. I don't know if it's getting paid all to the first spot here. Maybe. I think we'll find out that information for you.
No, I think my decision at that point is easy. I say, okay, you have me beat.
So we're going to see three-way action here, Twan.
Yeah, I like this. Wow, he folded.
Ace, Queen, 8, Rainbow. It's going to give Kenny Berg top pair there. Does Ace 10.
He checks it.
And he checks it.
Wow.
Wow, turn card's a jack.
1100.
Look at this. Yosh probably puts kind of a feeler bet. He thinks his queen might be good if he checked around with an ace on the flop, right?
Yeah, but he's not going to like the call on the turn by Kenny Berg.
Kenny Berg, pretty solid player, right?
Yeah, and he's going to know that he's beat. Yosh is going to pick that up.
Do you think Yosh is going to check fold here on the river?
If Kenny bets, he probably will check fold.
Well, Chuck is in an interesting predicament here in seat 4. He's picked up, he's paired his jack, and he has a gut shot. He's going to muck. Look at this. Kenny Berg says, I got position on you, Yosh.
Yeah, that gave it away. Yosh is too smart of a player for that.
And you're right there, Twan.
Yeah.
Yosh is going to check. Ken Berg kind of puts in like a fishing bet, like I want you to call, right?
Yeah, but I knew Yosh was too smart to pick that up. He's going to check immediately when Kenny Berg calls him.
All right, Kenny.
Yeah.
And he folds. So you're right on there, Twan. Obviously, you've played with these guys.
Yeah, I play with them day in and day out.
You're in it here.
Give me a better insight.
Who do you think you're most impressed with in terms of a non-poker player that's developed their poker skills, since the poker boom, has made the ability to make moves? Obviously, Tobin Maguire's had some nice tournament scores.
Tobin Maguire is one of them. As far as celebrities or just in general?
I'm just talking about in general, maybe people that are successful in other careers that obviously have taken on poker and they're famous for other things, but because we talk about how some of these, like you said, the business owners, they seem to play straightforward. They don't necessarily make a lot of moves. Do you know people that are capable of making moves?
I'm the most impressed by Tobin Maguire's play.
Really?
Considering the schedule he has to work around.
Uh-huh.
And, he's really picked up a lot. I would actually consider him a pro now. He's actually picked up his game to that level.
Who's playing?
Well, of course, he picked up that tournament win last year at the Phil Hellmuth Invitational.
At the other casino.
Yeah, at the other casino. There you go, man. They're great right off the bat. Always have trouble telling some of the guests not to mention some of the other card rooms. We got a Queen 10 against an Ace Queen here.
28.
Ken Berg is going to bet after.
A lot of people underestimate Kenny Berg, but he actually knows when he has the best hand.
Well, I do have the payout structure here, Twan. First place is going to pay $40,000. Second place is going to get their money back, $5,000. And, of course, there's a $5,000 bounty, which has been added by the Buzzard Casino onto Frank Mariotta's head. So that is the structure right there. And we have kind of made the structure to fit around our show so that, it'll last about 4 hours, as each level is 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's great. It gives them a chance to play.
Yeah. I mean, 4 hours on a single table, that's usually what a big shootout will last anyways, right?
Yeah.
Pre-to the tournament.
I'm okay to take the blinds right now.
That's the kind of raise I make when I have jacks. I'm going to push you around, Mike.
One person to a hand, thank you.
Look at this. We've got ace queen against pocket jacks.
Yeah.
Check. Now the river comes and it's a 9 of spades.
Nothing.
And Twan, I know that you've come down here, and Pocket Jacks is going to take it down. I know that you've come down here because they're throwing you a party because you play here a lot at the grill. So I know you're going to have to head out. I really appreciate you coming by at Live the Bike, and I really look forward to seeing you play some more white chip action here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, and congratulations on your accomplishments.
Thank you very much.
He's playing tight. He's playing tight right now. If he called my 2,000, he had a hand. I knew I had to hit my hand.
Well, Shirley, that was
great.
That was quite a thrill, and I apologize that you didn't get some words in there because our wireless is just
it was going wacky.
Yeah, going wacky. So
yeah, we have pocket aces here.
Feedback, just a little much. So Frank Mariotti's got the aces. Of course, we talk about the fact that he's got that bounty on his head.
I know.
So people might want to gamble with him a little
I would
bit.
imagine people would be more willing to mix it up with him than the other players.
Yep.
I have the best hand.
Conti's not allowed.
Ken Berg there in seat 3. He's got cards. Can't quite tell what they are right now. Here
He's
we
putting
go.
them over right now.
Ace deuce of diamonds. So he's in real bad shape. Ken Berg's going to check. Doug's going to check. Mariotti's going to lead with his aces. He's going to lead $8,000.
Hate the skate.
Third of a stack.
Seems like a large bet.
All right. How do they know?
8,000 to win 4,000.
Well, exactly as
I
Kenny
guess
Berg tells.
he's pointing that out, that there's 4,000 in the pot. He's betting 8,000.
Well, Ken Berg only has bottom pair here. And again, what Twan talks about, a lot of these guys aren't necessarily capable of making big moves. So when they make a bet, they usually have it.
Yeah.
Then he's talking himself.
Well, I know Bobby Beland. He's very capable of making moves.
No, you're irrelevant.
Bobby and Yosh, of course, the two professional poker
Well, I would
players.
call 800.
And Doug looks like he's going to fold out of seat 5 there. And they're going to. So again, I know we didn't get to go over it all that well because I wanted to take as much time possible to interview Twan. The red chips are $100 chips.
Yeah, he did.
The black chips are $500 chips, and the blue chips are $1,000 chips.
Yeah, they're yellow and black. Those are the 5.
We are at, it looks like towards the end of our second level with 200 and 400 blinds.
Are you socializing?
Each level's 20 minutes long.
Right. Next level is going to be 3-6 with a $100 ante.
Okay.
We're going to take a 10-minute break after the 5th level.
Chance to get the 5,000 bounty there, Kenny. I'm waiting for later.
No one wants to be the first one out.
Don't worry, he would have been the call would have been out.
I don't mind being the first one out at all.
And it looks like this is going to be limped around here.
Everybody should last the first hour.
You don't normally see a multi-way pot and a no-limit hold'em even in a shootout, except at the lower levels, right?
Yeah.
Lots of deuces, huh?
If the blinds and the antes go back, people don't have a lot of chips to play with.
Yeah. You're forced to make moves with your hands.
Ace, jack, jack on the flop with 2 spades.
But I agree with that. In the early rounds, I always like to see a lot of hands. You know, see a lot of flops. I mean, I'll call with like the queen, 9 of hearts.
Kenny Berg is going to lead out here just with his 4.
Now that's where I say early position comes into play because the person that bets out first.
He gets Doug in seat 5 to lay down an ace. He also gets Mr. Chow in seat 2 to lay down his ace. Ken takes it down with the third best hand there.
Yeah.
And maybe, the players respect him. And again, I think some of the players are really playing tight. They don't want to be the first to be knocked out.
See, I want to point out, though, that, Bart, that was a limped pot. So, they just don't want to get involved. There's a jack up there, so they have an ace. It's a limped pot, it's a small pot. I'm not going to get involved.
And Ken Berg is in one of the small blinds, so there's definitely a possibility that he has
he
a jack.
He could have had anything, a jack deuce.
He could have had an ace with a higher kicker. The pot wasn't that big, so you might want to pick your spots better. Right.
In the limped pot, I tend to hit it big or get away from it.
Whatever you want. Pitch him for it.
Amazing.
Again, first prize is going to win $40,000. Second prize is winning the money back that they put in.
$5,000
back. And we have a $5,000 bounty on Frank Mariotti that was added by the butt.
When they saw rounders, there's like 3
Bobby Belan, one of the professional poker players at the table out of seat 8, is raising. He's going to raise to 900.
They had never played poker before.
He has Jack Queen.
So he's betting about 2.5 times the big blind. He's raising to 2.5 times the big blind.
That's just amazing. I mean, how? It's got to be.
They had never played poker before. They saw rounders, and rounders made them play poker.
And C3 just did he?
No, he's going to re-raise.
He raised to 1,600.
Ken Berg is going to re-raise.
That's a button raise.
Push on the game.
He's trying to steal it.
It's going to be 2,100. It looks like 3 blues and a black. 3 blues and a black there. I believe on the button.
Remember, tight. Remember.
Walter, I had a pocket pair.
I'll show you what I have. Is that good for the game?
Yeah.
And Ken Berg's going to take it down there. He's got ace king.
I had you suited.
That's a pretty good re-raise there from the button, Shirley, right?
Right.
That's not good for the game.
And I can tell, some of the players that are...
No action.
Oh, look at Twan. He joined Ken.
Yeah.
I had pocket 6.
His sunglasses are too cool. I was noticing them when he was sitting in here. And he has look at all the spectators around.
I feel like just going all in.
Some of the people on 2+2 kind of...
I feel like just going all in.
I made the comment that why would Twan want to play in a $10,000 shootout after he's a multimillionaire? Well, to win $90,000, I don't think that's anything to scoff at.
No.
He could be interested to really play in a game like this, especially with some players that are weaker than him, right?
Well, like he said, shootouts are so good for final table preparation. Not that he needs it. He's had experience, but I always like to play, shootouts or one tables.
I'm not in the position to
Ken Berg is going to raise here. Looks like to 1,800 there. He's got an ace queen suited.
Okay, give me a hand back.
And Doug in seat 5 is... King queen is in bad shape. Look at this good check here. Checked on the flop by both players. Turn's going to come a 6. Oh, this is a pretty straightforward play here. It doesn't look like either player's...
He's going to go for that,
check. Wow, unbelievable.
Go for it.
Well, ace queen's got the best hand, but... Look at this, Doug. It's just going to get checked down here, Shirley,
yeah.
So.
They might have thought that their hand was good enough to check down.
Yeah.
It was good enough to win the pot.
And most of these players are very, they're very experienced players. They've played with each other in home games over the last 10 to 15 years. These are not beginners, and they're very knowledgeable of each other's games.
Right.
A great majority of these players play with each other on a weekly basis. So that's going to explain some of the moves that they make and some of the lack of moves that they make.
Well, I was asking Twan before he got on the air about playing with Hassan in live play and if it helped him in tournament. And he was saying that it's totally different. He plays with Hassan on a day-to-day basis. Look, we have aces again.
That's Bobby Bland and CD.
We actually have a few hands here. We have 9s and 6s.
He's raised to $1,000. The big blind is 400. It looks like...
Oh, is he raised?
8. That's 8.
I called.
He made it 800.
And
He had
Yosh
threw
called.
out, yeah, he threw out 1,000, but he had only made it 800, so he just doubled.
Yeah.
And
And look at
gonna
this. He's going to
blind.
bet blind. Wow.
2,000.
Boy. And look at this. Yosh has hit a set. Let's see how he plays it. He's got a set of sixes. Bobby Boulan has bet blind 2,000.
Strong special technique.
Now Yosh has someone behind him here on the button, Shirley.
Yeah. So the question is, does he want to get him in it and just smooth call here?
Or does he want to raise?
Or put in a raise? He puts in a raise.
He's going to raise. Yosh must have been listening to some of my commentary. C5 is going to fold. Now it's a question of, we got pro against pro here.
Can't afford that.
And look at this. Bobby Bland's going to move all in, and he's done. He's going to be done unless he spikes an ace, it looks like.
I'm a little ass for it.
And, yeah, I had a feeling that this was going to happen, that one of these players was going to be going out.
Unbelievable. Wow. Yosh has hit his set.
Sixes have been
Yosh is going to take it down, and he's going to double up there.
Sixes would have won, Doug. Wow.
Interesting to see how a pro would play that. I mean, it's very difficult for any type of player to get away from aces there.
Yeah.
At the early levels, maybe some people would say, well, maybe you could put in a feeler re-raise and then muck if Yosh goes all in over the top of you. But it's very tough.
Too hard.
Yeah, it's very tough in a tournament.
The only thing that was going to slow that action, if he flat called and the heart came on the board and he didn't have a heart, he might have been able to get away from it. But I don't see any other circumstance he was getting away from that hand. So
yeah,
I think
it is a tournament. We're not talking about a live cash game where Yosh is, put them all in for, an additional $30,000 where you're going to think their ace is good.
Right.
It is a tournament. You can take chances,
Kenny, we
obviously.
can have coaching too.
Yeah, you play like yeah, I'd like to see Kenny play like you.
Please.
so. Twan Lee didn't come straight out and say it, but he did kind of say that his favorites or thought that might win were Yosh and Bobby.
Right.
So we see that one of his choices was the first one out.
Chuck here in seat 4 has raised. Looks like 2. 20.
You can have coach, but not
It's like a large raise. 2 blues in there. He's got ace queen offsuit.
It's like 2,600.
$400 blinds. Actually, the blinds have gone up to 3.6 now. So.
Solid.
And look at this from the button here. Mark Weidman from seat 7 is going to go all in with ace king. And you wouldn't think that ace queen is going to call, and if he does call, he's in big trouble.
Yes.
Again, we're pretty early in the levels. So
Right.
might necessarily don't want to gamble it up right now.
Yeah.
He could have had nothing.
So we're at 300, 600 blinds. Antes are $100, it says on my structure sheet. Yep, and we're going to see the antes.
So I was saying before that hand that Twan was saying that playing no limit with Hassan was a totally different game than playing on a level, that he plays at every day because they play the mixed game. So you were saying that a lot of these players are familiar with each other's play, but they're familiar with structure and a different game. This is a whole new game to them. It's no limit. It's a tournament style of the shootout. Even though they're familiar with their play, it's different.
I think I was talking to Doug in seat 5 before the show, and I think they do play with each other on a weekly basis in a pot limit game. Obviously, pot limit is not quite the same as no limit,
right.
But
and tournaments are totally different than live play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're not exactly sure how many shootouts that they've played at this style amongst each other.
Right.
They play in a cash game usually. We're going to hear the first there out of seat 1. Walter Lackey's going to raise to 2,000. He has an ace-7 suited. He's in the big blinds.
And it's not much of a hand, but they have to reconsider. I mean, they have to at least consider he hasn't really been involved in a lot of hands.
Well, Ken Berg is just limped in here with pocket 10s, and he's just going to smooth call.
Yeah.
Yo's just going to muck.
If he didn't have 10s there, even if he had a weak ace, he probably would have laid that down because Walter hasn't played in any hands.
Deuce 4 deuce. That's a pretty good hand for pocket 10s. Now the question is for Ken Berg is, does Mr. Lack and C1 have a higher overpair than I do?
Right.
And he's going to, looks like he leads for 4,000. And I think Ken Berg might be thinking about mucking here. Again, might want to pick better spots to gamble with there, Shirley. Look at that, he does.
What are you talking, with the A7 or with the 10?
With the 10s calling that.
Yeah,
right there
yeah. I mean, it's a hard call to make. That's, you know, I mean, he switched it up right there. Walter in seat 1 really switched gears right there and worked for him.
Yeah, he made it 800.
So Yosh there in seat 9 is the definite chip stack. He's the chip leader. He's got, looks like at least maybe 25,000 in blues and another, well, maybe that's 20,000 in blues, another 10,000 in black. Over 30,000, 35,000 maybe,
there,
35,000. Again, we started with 25,000 chips. I think Bobby Bullion had lost a little bit before that.
Real live wire, so he thinks everybody's putting them on nothing, and so when they play back at him, he just thinks they're trying to rerun over him. So.
Get 2,000.
But it's worked for him, his theory.
Frank Mariotti there in seat 6. He's coming for a raise with 2,000 with 9-10 offsuit. And look at that. You know, you got to do that sometimes, mix it up. Shirley, pick up the blinds and the antes, and he does with 9-10 offsuit.
Uh-huh.
I know, you get me out of reach here pretty soon.
I mean, hardly ever.
I'm a low man over here already.
Any of this? Any of
We got it.
Any of
Yes, ma'am.
Any of
Sorry. I'm the dealer. I can make a move here.
I'm okay.
$40,000 is a nice little haul for one night's worth of work, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
45 if you beat Frank Mariotti.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna see a limp here. King Queen suited. Mr. Lack there from seat 1 is gonna raise with ace 10 of diamonds. $2,700. So the pot is over 6,000 chips right now. Wow. King spikes. King Queen's got top pair here. See how he plays. Again, the flop is a King 5-3, 5 of diamonds.
Get 21.
And C4 is going to bet. He's not going to check to the razor. He's going to bet right away.
Right away.
Wow, Walter Lack smooth calls here.
Yeah, calling one off.
Now he's picked up second pair. I wonder if he was calling with the intention of bluffing on the turn if the guy checked. And look at this. Chuck has checked to him on the turn, and Walter Lack has led for 4,000 with his second pair. And he's going to get a call, so we're looking at a huge pot here, about 12,000 chips. River's a jack of clubs. King Queen's going to take it down here.
Miami's a 4-point favorite in New Jersey.
Yeah. 3-point favorite.
Chuck is going to take down about a $13,000 pot. Mr. Lack has lost about 1/3 of his stack right there on that hand. Yeah. Can't fault the way that hand was played.
No.
Any of these?
Hey, I'm gonna give you my chips.
No, you'll have to do it after you come back from the bathroom.
And don't forget, we split the
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to pick Ken Berg to win this shootout. I really actually been impressed by his play since I've seen him on the show a number of times.
Uh-huh.
And I think he's a pretty strong player. I really do.
Yeah.
I've seen him make moves on people. He knows exactly what's going on.
Well, like I said, I mean, tournaments and limit games are totally different. So, I mean, I would have to go with Yosh because of the experience. It's two totally different games. And although I have been impressed by Ken Berg's play, I've only seen him play live action.
Well, Yosh is going to come in for a race. You wonder when he's going to start using some of those chips to bully some people around.
Right.
It is only the third level.
And Kinberg actually looks like he has the most chips. So you were saying Yosh was a big stack, but he's got...
Yeah, it looks like he's got...
he has a lot there.
Large haul. We had missed some of the early action when we were talking to Twan.
Yeah.
So. And Yosh is brought it in with a 5-6 of clubs. Ken Berg is called with ace-6, so Ken's in great shape right here. He's out of position, though. Look at this, though. He's flopped second pair and the nut flush draw. 4-6 king, 2 spades. Yosh is going to bet, and you wonder if Ken Berg's going to check raise here, Shirley. Looks like Yosh bet about...
that would be a great move. I'd love to see him check raise here.
Yeah. He's got second pairing. He's got the nut draw.
He just called.
35, so a $3,500 bet and a call. Well, now he's got his flush. Turns a 7. And Yosh is a little smart.
He's not going to be betting into that.
Right behind it. Wow, and this is going to give Yosh trips. And of course, Ken Berg's got the made flush. The question of how much Ken can bet here. He might get a call from Yosh. He's going to bet $5,000 here. Pot's about $10,000, so he's betting about half the size of the pot. And Yosh is sitting there with trips, and he looks like he's going to call.
It actually looks like he's going to raise. He has more than 5 chips in his hand.
Raise another. 5.
He raised 5 more.
Wow. Of course, Ken Berg does not have a nut hand. He could be up against a full house. And he's going to take it down, and he is the big chip leader.
He is
right
now.
Yep. You're right, Shirley. Yosh, without hesitation, raised there.
Yeah.
Ken Berg, kind of, I don't know if I might have re-raised there. I'm sitting there with one of the 6s in my hands. I mean, not only do I have a flush, but I have one of the 6s in my hand.
Right.
The chance of him having a full house is even less.
The chance of him having a full house with the 6, I mean, it's like maybe a pocket pair, pocket 7, pocket king.
Mm-hmm. There is that chance.
Aren't you one to fix this game?
Anytime, just reach in here.
So all of you who missed Denny in the booth, you can hear him in the background there.
Yep.
He's running the tournament out there.
Some things never change.
Yeah.
There's Denny.
Yeah, you did it to me.
Walter
again.
Lack in seat 1. He's going to limp in with an ace-5 offsuit. And the big blind in seat 5 is going to get a free ride, 7-9 offsuit. And a king-queen on the flop.
At least make him pay like hell.
Ace High's going to bet. He's going to take it down.
I know.
So we're probably going to get a chip count in the top of the hour, possibly, from Joker Gaming.
What's the small blind?
3.
Of course, in this structured game, chip count is almost more important than a cash
Oh,
game,
yeah,
obviously.
Can I get 100?
Take it now.
Frank Mariotti, I don't know if we mentioned it, is Jerry Buss's partner, one of the owners of the Lakers. They're in seat 6.
Like that whole cheering section? Just one of my buddies.
And again, where it is that we're going to be having some of these big games every Thursday here.
Raise. 26 total.
Doug Jablon here in seat 5. He's going to raise. He's going to take it down. When I was talking to Doug before the show, he told me that he sells advertising. He owns an advertising company. He also wanted me to tell everyone out there that he considers himself the wildest on the table. Haven't quite seen enough example of that yet, but he definitely wanted to convey that message that he was wild. It's playing pretty tight though so far.
It seems, yeah. A lot of the players are playing tight.
Now I need a miss and a foul. I need a miss and a foul. I gotta pull this one.
Kenny's the overwhelming chip leader right now.
As Yosh says, I believe Kenny Berg is an overwhelming chip leader.
What else is in it? Raise.
2,000.
It's a shot of somebody's ring.
I knew that guy Bob would be the first guy out.
Oh, you did?
He didn't be the first out, the last in.
Is he the plunger?
He's in the middle of the road.
What about a position test?
Frank Mariotti.
That was Frank Mariotti's ring. And a big ring, and I assume that would be the world championship ring. Yeah. Lakers ring. See if we can get another.
Yeah.
Get it again. We missed it.
I'll take that every time.
That's it right there. That's what an NBA championship ring looks like.
Once you gave me that look, I knew I was home free. Because if you had a good hand, you don't even give me that little.
I don't give you that look unless I'm folding.
Right.
So 3-6 blinds here, $100 antes. You know, I think Denny did a really good job setting up the structure here, Shirley. He's given them a lot of chips.
Yeah, although the structures start out high. I mean,
You've got
the
25,000
blinds
in
start
chips.
high.
Yeah,
Right, you have
yeah.
25,000 in chips.
The
So.
levels are 20 minutes long, but, you know, we wanted to structure it for approximately a 4-hour show.
Here we go. Here we go. He's ripe for the taking.
Go ahead.
Got a pot here, boys.
Let's see a flop.
We want to welcome all of those of you on 2+2, of course.
Wait, I'm first.
Some people giving Bobby Bland a little bit of trouble for blind betting the aces.
Sixes are live again. They're in every game.
3,000.
Yosh out of seat 9. He's going to bet his 6. He has top pair, and he's going to take it down.
Here comes, these are Hague's girls, guys. These are Hague's girls.
Hey, girls. Come on over.
Oh, these some new, yeah, these are the Bombshell twins here, Shirley, of course. Those of you that saw Thursday night show.
Right. Those are the twins on the left and one of the other Bombshell models on the right. And that's a Hague.
Is it the big limo or the little limo?
Do we get the twins if we choose one of them? That is delicious.
You know, Shirley, at the beginning part of the show last week, I was sandwiched right between
What's
those twins.
Yeah.
What's a Hague girl?
Loving it.
Loving every minute of it, yeah.
Oh, his girl.
Twins got into a...
I'm thinking it's a.
No, actually,
It's a new.
Doug, cool it. Pay attention.
What?
Card? On you, Doug.
Ken Berg's got pocket 10.
Smell them behind.
they're actually called the Bombshell Girls, and they represent poker
600.
chocolates, which help build the
Yoshi's doing a good job doing my job tonight.
Yeah.
But I can't think right now.
Nice. Very nice.
They taught them how to play No Limit Hold'em.
Oh, look, it's a mirror in the background.
Yeah, it's Amir Vahidi
Can we get
right
Amir
there.
Vahidi in the background
Shoot up
with the blue
There we
jacket?
go.
There's Amir Vahidi.
All kinds of action here at the bike tonight.
Yeah. He's had a great year this year.
16.
Deuce 3-8 on the flop, 2 spades.
You know,
Tonight, and they're going to play
Ken Berg's going to lead for 1,600. He's going to take it down with his overpair. It was kind of funny towards the end of the show on Thursday night. We saw those twins get into a scuffle.
My wife's calling, wondering why I'm looking for girls.
Andy, please.
This one right here is too much.
Andy, please.
That's just too much.
Some of the twins got into a little bit of a scuffle. And one of them was running pretty well. The other one was not running that well, and they both came in the same car. I'm sure everyone's been there before.
Line 99, 97, Miami, 10 seconds left. Miami, I don't know.
Hey, Amir.
I gotta win by
Mr.
4.
Chow is in the big blind there in seat 2.
I want to talk to you.
You know, Shirley Rosario ran out of there, the booth real quick, and I'm going to predict that she's probably going to try to get Amir in
To be the
here.
king.
So we might see Amir Vahidi in here in a second. And if that happens, I will step away and let them two talk for a bit.
I wish he would have raised.
So Ken Berg is going to limp here from seat 3. He's got an ace-7 suited. Doug's going to fold from seat 5. Frank Mariotti, Mr. Bounty in seat 6. He mucks. Seat 7 mucks. Yoshi's going to call on the button. Yoshi's got King-Jack suited from the button. And Amir Vahidi is in here, so after this hand, I'm going to give it up for Shirley and Amir. Mr. Chow has the best hand with ace-8 here. He's checked it from up front one time. He's got top pair. Excuse me, C3, Kenny Berg's flop. He's got aces up here. He's got ace-7. So Ken Berg has the best hand. Now Yoshi's going to call with his king. So Ken Berg has got aces up. Mr. Chow's got ace-8. River's a jack of diamonds. That's going to give Yoshi kings up. But Ken Berg's got the best hand with ace-7. Ken Berg checks.
Yosh might make a move here, representing a 10.
And look at this. Yosh is going to bet. Of course, it is one card to a straight. Ken Berg's got aces up here.
He has the best hand. It's going to be a tough call to make.
And he's the big chip leader, too, Shirley. Yosh has used his position to represent a hand. Of course, a third diamond came on the river there. Look at this. Thinking about calling here. And look at this. He's going to make the call.
Good call.
And aces up is going to take it down. That might be some of the advantage of having a lot of chips there.
Right.
Being able to make that call. Well, I'm going to step aside here. And
we only have about 5 minutes with Amir because he's going to go play the tournament.
Going up, gentlemen. 200 any, 500 1,000. 200 any, 500 1,000.
Next time Kenny invites me to one of these games, I'm going to know something's up.
I was trying to feel we were hustling.
Yeah, this is not for
200 and...
Are you having fun yet?
1,000.
What are we at?
Cross die.
No, he wants New Jersey. I want Miami.
Charlie.
How you doing, Amir?
Pretty good, pretty good. Good to be here. What's going on here?
We are having a $5,000 buy-in shootout, no limit hold'em shootout, and it's first place is getting $40,000, second place gets the buy-in back $5,000, and Frank Mariani is a bounty for $5,000.
How sweet that is.
Yeah. So we're nine-handed, and Bobby Beland was the first one eliminated with pocket aces. Yosh had
Who's your favorite, Shirley? Then I tell you,
well,
who's my
you know,
favorite.
I picked Yosh, but he's kind of going down in chips. Ken Berg has all the chips.
Yeah, I see. The Kimber guy is the one just A7, right?
Right. Seat number 3.
Yeah, I've seen him in tournament. I played with him quite a few times.
Yeah.
He's a decent player. So with that kind of chips, I like his chances too.
Right.
Well, I like this. Don't underestimate that kid on the seat 4, Chucky.
Seat 4?
Yeah, he's been with me in a couple of last tables in the big time tournament.
Okay.
So even though he's short, he's very selective with his hands. He's waiting for a spot, so that's good. Because as you know, no matter how short you are in tournament, it's not over.
Right.
So you have to be very smart with your chips.
Right. So what brings you around to the bike tonight? You playing the shootout?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not shootout, it's bounty.
Actually, this is my vacation time, so this is my hometown. And,
right.
Came down here to support the tournament. And I like to pound this because it brings the best out of everybody. Everyone's trying to kill each other.
Well, it's always nice to have you around, Amir. You know I always love seeing you.
Oh, you must have.
My king. I call him king, yeah.
Well, of course, I started calling you
me queen, I know. I saw you back there. I said, I got to go run and get him for 5 minutes. I know that you probably want to go smoke a cigar before the tournament starts, but...
Yeah, the problem is I woke up late. Otherwise, I would be in this thing. I liked it. As soon as I saw it, I said, well,
you're like, I missed it.
I like short-handed. I mean, it's kind of tired for a full-blown tournament now. It's just kicking back. We're getting ready for a series.
For the series, right.
Yeah, and World Series Circuit, of course, which I'm going to be going in about a week.
Which one?
Lake Tahoe.
I'm playing in that. I'm playing in it. Yes, I am.
Good to see you.
I haven't seen you in a long time here. I actually won 2 seats, 2 World Series seats. The first one, of course, for the main event. The second one I used for Harris Circuit.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Actually, you know what? I've been trying to. I'm going to try harder online to get qualified.
Well, I know you do play online, and that's where I won mine. Yeah.
Yeah, very rarely, but everybody's telling me you got to sit online. So I said,
even some of the big names have won their seats online. Yeah. You know, people that have the $10,000, but will sit there for a couple hours and pick up a seat and save themselves $10,000.
It's not about money. It's about anytime you can get into one of those big tournaments, free-rolling, basically.
Oh, yeah.
$30 out of your pocket is sure.
Right.
Especially World Series this year will be huge, and 5,000 people is kind of like a lottery to me. So might as well win the seat for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to the World Series, and I really am looking forward to what you're going to do there. You've had a great year so far. I hope that it continues.
I hope so. It's usually odd years are my years, so I'm really hopeful about it.
Is that right? So that's why last year you didn't do so hot. The year before you did great.
Well, last year I didn't play that many tournaments anyway, but yeah, it was kind of that's an even year. Last year, so that's why.
Yeah, then the last year you were what? Like you were up and running for Player of the Year. but you ended up missing it right towards the end.
It's been like 3 years in a row, 2001, 2003, and I was running for getting a Player of the Year.
And once again this year so far.
I ended up being fourth, but by last tournament actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a four-way action here.
I think.
The blue chips are $1,000 chips.
Wow.
And they all caught. Ace four of diamonds caught there.
16 out there, 17 out there.
Flop of Jack 5-4. Jack Queen, the one that you said.
Yeah, Chucky.
Right. Chucky?
Yeah.
We have Chuck on our thing.
No,
okay, Chucky.
Call him Chucky.
He's moving in and he has top pair. So he's not messing around with any kind of draws getting there. I mean, any kind of heart draws.
Scott, where's Mo? Sorry about that. Where's Mo?
He's one of the Toby McGuire's gang. They're all buddies.
Okay.
Group of flute players, and they are very thoughtful players. They keep sitting down. They go through the hands. They play hands together after the tournament's over. So they educate themselves, which is very important. I suggest that or recommend that to anybody.
To anybody, yeah.
After the tournament, don't feel bad about bad beats. Just sit down and see how could you.
You know, it's not the bad beats that get me. It's screwing up on a hand. And then but I do exactly what you say. I mean, I'm screwed it up. I'm mad at myself, but I learn from it. You know.
Well, that's the way I feel. Every time I make mistake, I feel very bad because a lot of people tell me, "Well, why do you feel so bad?" But you know, when you're professional, when you're making a living on this business, you can't make those mistakes. But then again, if you learn from it and move on, that's good. If you don't learn them, that's a double mistake.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you have aces and someone has deuces and they flop a set, that's just poker. You know, I don't walk out of a poker room upset about that.
Poker is all about making the right decision, put yourself in a favorite spot, and that's all you can hope for. And,
right.
You got to realize the beauty of poker is that luck factor in it. If there is no luck factor, so you won't have no opponent. There's no newcomers coming in. There's nobody going to challenge you. You know, it's just the beauty of poker. Look at it that way, you never feel bad about that.
Right.
That players.
Well, Ken Burke's actually thinking about making the call here. He has a jack, not as strong of a kicker as Chuck has. He has a 10 kicker. But he's really putting some thought into this.
Sitting down on all them chips, it's kind of hard to lay down because you got a topper and you got a chips to cover this guy. But you know that he's got a jack. You know he came out and bet into 4 people.
Right.
So knowing that, you know, if you want to play good, you may want to lay down. Even giving away some chips while your chip leader is still not called for.
Yeah.
You know, you can save your chips, find a better spot for yourself, at least some spot that you can either bluff the guy out of it. In this situation, bluffing a guy out of it is not an option here. It's not an option because the guy's already put all in. So you know he's got a topper. It's a matter of kicker. That was a very good decision.
Very good later, yeah.
Yeah, that was surprised me actually. I mean, with that many chips and you decide to lay throw.
Yeah.
Jack 10 still was a very great hand, but you know this guy has jacks with a big kicker
He has to have something.
Yeah.
Right.
Good play on the Chucky side because you don't put yourself in a position to make decision. You put all in that with the topper and let them make decision. And don't allow anybody to play back at you and get lucky on you.
Yeah.
So right there you finish it because it's already a big pot. It was a 5-way action from beginning. So
and it wasn't a limp pot neither. It was 4-way action. It was raised.
The pot was big enough for him. Just cut it right there. If somebody decides to call and hit you, so be it. I mean, but you have to make a right move. You can't still play with that little chips that you have in front of you. Just make a stand right there and get it over.
Well, we had Han Lee in here earlier, and he was talking about, Bart had asked him about celebrities or other professionals that are turning into really good poker, and he was saying that Toby Maguire also was probably one of the best. He says he would actually consider him a pro, that he's at that level.
Oh, yes. One thing about Toby, what I like about this game is when he sits down and play poker, he actually play poker. It's not because if you have a bigger bankroll, you can be looser, or you can have a smaller bankroll, you can be tighter. No, he sits down and he actually wants to play poker because of the sake of poker.
Right.
So that makes you a good player because all your decisions is based on poker strategy.
Yeah.
And once you put every other financial means behind it and just think poker, I'm positively you can make a better decision than somebody's thinking about the rent tomorrow, or or I have $1 million, so what would I care for making this call or something like that. So yeah, I like his game. He's a totally devoted person to this game of poker, and it's good for our game.
Yeah. Well, we have a hand here. We have seat 7 there raised with ace-jack, and ace-queen sitting here thinking about it, what to do. He lays it down.
Well, that's a classic playing two-tied, what I say.
Yeah.
You know,
although I mean, he was in first position. He might have taken into consideration that the player that raised was in first position.
Well, I mean, look at this. This is what I like to do in tournament. I like to take my destiny in my own hand. What that means is I will not sit down and just take it for waiting for just a supreme hand.
Yeah.
That was a good, decent hand for an 800 game. Or you could have this a flat call and see the flop, see what the reaction is on the flop.
Yeah.
Or you may even flop the good. But that's the way too big of a hand to let go. And besides, what else are you going to wait for? I mean, you're short chips, it's short chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know what I had.
Well, Amir, I don't want to keep you. I know that the tournament's starting right now. Good luck to you, and it was nice seeing you.
Oh, it was very nice
and I'll
to
see you next week.
And good luck to you guys all out there and play good poker, huh?
Thanks, Amir.
Thank you. All right, Mark.
32-62. It's the same result.
I mean, if I was Kenny, it would make a difference, but
Okay, once again, we have pocket aces here.
If I had
Uncontested. Pocket aces picks up the pot.
You just wasted the whole thing.
All right, Kenny, let's count it down then.
Well, it seems like we're getting a lot of big players in here, Shirley.
Yeah. I saw him out there. I had to go run and get him. He's actually...
Well, I figured when you ran away, that's where you were
That's where I was
going.
going, yeah. He's probably one of my closest friends on the tournament circuit. I just adore him, so...
I love my hand.
While I was off the microphone, I had seen a question from C.W. Siggy on 2+2, and I would like to answer it. Why does Frank have the bounty? Is he the best one? Well, the reason why he has the bounty is because of his partnership with Jerry Buss and the Lakers. Frank and Jerry have had a long-term relationship with the Bicycle Casino, doing charity events, and they've played here for many years.
They hold a lot of charity events here.
So that's why they decided to put the bounty on his head, because the money is coming from the Bicycle Casino. So they thought that was the best way, and that is the reason why.
Sorry, kids.
Okay, we had tens and was limped.
Looked like Mr. Chow limped up there
Limped
from up
with
front.
the tens, yeah.
So he's flopped a full house, but seat number 7 has flopped quads. He's in the small blind. That's Mark Weedman. Now let's see how he plays it. Mr. Chow looks like he bets 4,000. Well, anytime you're going to get a check call here, I'm scared, even if I have aces, obviously. Let's see how Weedman plays it here out of seat 7. Well, look at this. He's going to fire 4,000.
4,000.
And wow, Mr. Chow is going to call. The pot's over probably
so
around 15 to 20,000.
So you would imagine with how quickly he called that you probably could at least get 7,000.
Look at this. Now
Let's
the board pairs, and he's going to move all in here. And look at this. Mr. Chow calls with his pocket tens, and ace 8 is going to take it down with quads. I really like that move. On the river there, Mr. Chow might think, well, when he bet into me with quads on the turn, maybe he's trying to make a move when he placed the board here, but I can hit the board with my tens.
Yeah.
And I call, but I lose.
Right.
So I think that put Mr. Chow in a tough spot there in seat 2.
So seat 2 is out now.
Yep, he's out.
And I was saying that he could probably, the player in seat 7 would probably get a $7,000 bet, which is I think is about what Mike had in seat 2.
Yeah.
Mr. Chow had in seat 2. He only had a few blue chips left.
So he was relatively short stacked.
He was short stacked after he made the call on the turn, so he only had, he might have had a little bit more than that, but I think he only had about $8,000. So. Okay, so we're down to 7 players now.
And we're still only in the 4th level, I believe. It's $200 ante, 500 and 1,000 blind. And we did have a chip count right before Amir came in, but I think it's old, and we'll get a new updated one, because these chip counts are always changing, obviously.
I ran out of here with it, and yeah, I mean,
you had it.
obviously it is going to change because the player in seat 2 had 20,000 chips.
Frank Mariotti is going all in for seat 6. He only has a suited connector. Remember the $5,000 bounty that's on his head. And he shows it. He picks up the blinds and the antes.
He's short stacked. He's in position. The hands work well together. I love that move.
Okay, now that's the Frank that we know and love. And we've been waiting for you.
They're going crazy now. And he's loving it. Little does he know he actually had the best hand compared to the blinds.
You can make a flush, a strike.
Very possibly has the best hand. Okay, fellas, ante up, please.
Well, when you make a move at the blinds and the antes at this level, you're talking about 7 times 200, 1,400, plus 1,500 from the blinds.
Right.
So 2,900.
You're picking them.
I need a blind, small and big, 500, 1,000. All right. Thank you, Tim.
Now, they said that it was going to be a break after this level, but on our structure sheet, it's actually after the next level, unless they've changed it.
They might have changed
You
it.
may want to slow it down, Yost. I don't know.
A lot of times in tournament, if the whole table agrees, if it's just down to one table, they'll do it. So the whole table might decide they needed 10 minutes.
Well, they want to try to schedule to be done by around 10.
At this rate, that's going to be done at 10 minutes past 8.
10 minutes past 8.
4,000.
Oh, my seat 7 there. Mr. Mark Weedman's going to bring it in for 4,000. Pocket 5s. And Ken Berg's going to show his 3-4 offsuit, and he's going to muck.
I'm staying away from you, Ken.
How do you get him to pay you off?
Shao fell in love with his hand.
Yeah.
Okay, ante up.
But he's got a no mark.
What do you have?
I mean, that's cool.
You know, someone on 2+2 is mentioning Frank Mariotti's son. Is it Jay Mariotti? And I'm not sure.
Well, Frank's last name is not Mariotti, it's Mariani.
Mariani, so maybe I was
So it would be
pronouncing it.
different. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I think I was saying Mariotti, and it was Mariani.
It's
so
Mariani
people
with
were.
an N, yeah.
You knew he had a pocket pair, and he's got to put you on an 8.
Although I think I might be, but I think Jay Mariani, he might have the same last name as well. The sportscaster that they're referring to. I don't know if there's any relation there or not, but it just kind of rose eyes because I was familiar with that guy because he was a sportscaster out of Boston.
And I like my
The person that they're talking about, Jay on 2+2.
I wouldn't have done that, Doug, if I hadn't.
Oh, Mr. Walter Lack from the button.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to raise with 4-6 offsuit, so clearly a steal play. Now we're getting into the motion here.
I knew my client was better
We're getting into the levels where you're going to make steals and you're going to really be picking up some chips when you steal.
Right.
And obviously, if you're on the button, you can pretty much bring it in with any hand. It's worth it.
200.
I wanted to answer Kev Mass's question on 2+2, which I actually can't give a positive answer. He's asking me if I would have used the second seat for the preliminary World Series of Poker, if I was able to do that. And I was planning on playing the preliminary events regardless. I'm playing 9 of the events besides the main event. And it would be nice to use those W dollars for that, but I also think that the Lake Tahoe main circuit event is going to be great preparation for the World Series of Poker event. So I was kind of torn between either way. So I figured since I already had the buy-in set for the World Series, that I would go ahead and play the Harris event. And I am actually trying to win a third seat to either sell the W dollars or, if they let me use them for the preliminaries, then I'll do that. But regardless, I am playing some of the preliminaries.
Mr. Lack has stolen another one.
Yeah.
King 9 offsuit. And that's definitely a hand. Obviously, if you can bring a hand in with any 2 cards in position, well, King 9 is
in position
even better.
and 6-handed, so...
Because it looks like Frank Mariani's away from the table right now. So talk about some free money. He's the big blind right now, and his hand's going to be dead. And Greg shows us that he has King 10 of clubs, but obviously he's not going to be able to play. So you'd think the button would try to steal all these chips with any 2 cards here, surely against one person.
Yeah. And we can't see what his cards are. Can you see those cards?
He's got King 5 offsuit. Oh, look, Frank is back. He made it back. And he's in really good shape here. He's out of position, but he has C4 dominated.
Now, they must have special rules for this because in tournament play at the Bicycle Casino or anybody that follows the tournament, the TDA rules, if you are not in your seat when that last card is dealt to the button, your hand is dead.
Well,
even if you get back when when it's your turn to act, before it's your turn to act.
Now 3 7s on the board here with an 8. And King 10 still has the best hand here. And look at this, it's going to be a chop pot.
Yeah.
Now the question is who's going to move on each other. And look at this, Frank quickly moves all in.
Okay, fellas, what do we got?
And C4 quickly calls, and it's going to be a chop pot. Now, to answer your question, Shirley, I was briefly talking with Denny Williams before the show, and this isn't necessarily a bicycle tournament tonight. So that's why some of those rules don't apply.
But now that we bring it up,
yeah, he's got one odd chip, 500.
The odd chip is
no, green 2, and let's split it.
You got to break down the 500 down to 100.
Oh, okay. So
I
What is that?
No, it's not normal. That's right. Come on. But now that you think, after you won the hand, now you think about it.
Annie's, please.
It's only 1,000. What do you have 2 points?
Maybe it's
I keep thinking those are 500.
Russ McGinley always adding some flavor to the 2+2. I actually didn't see those twins out there, but he was reading my mind.
I said, I'll bring in Amir, and you're like, yeah, I'll go see the twins.
You found your rhythm now.
Walter Lack out of seat 1. He's going to raise with an ace-10 offsuit. Looks like he raised to 4,000. So he's making it 4 times the big blind. Blinds are 5 and 1 right now.
Send it.
And again, we're moving into a period where we're not going to see a lot of multi-way pots.
Right.
Surely.
Yeah.
As normal as goes on in the limit tournament.
Yeah, because it's cost on a lot of your, a big percentage of your chip stacks to call.
816.
So we're moving up a level here. The antes are $300. The blinds are now $800, $1,600. And this is going to be the final level before we take a 10-minute break and race off the reds, of course, the $100 chips, because we won't need those anymore after this level. So in terms of dead money, we've got 300 times 7, 2,100 in antes, plus 24, so 4,500 in blinds and antes.
You said we're at 3 times 7. We have 2,100.
Right, and then 2,400 in blinds, so 4,500 in blinds and antes total.
Right.
Now seat 5 is going to raise to 5,000 with pocket 7s. So he's raising to make it 5,000 to win 4,500. We can't quite see what Yosh has here.
We saw an ace.
Well, he's pretty short
He has
stacked.
an ace queen.
Okay. So this is a classic race situation here. Looks like he had about 9,700 left. So he re-raises him 4,700 more. So it's ace queen against pocket 7 for about a $15,000 pot.
I like pair 7s.
So we might see our other pro poker player go out here, Shirley.
Yeah, my pick.
I like 7s now.
7s is in good shape here. Yoshi's going to have to spike an ace or a queen. Turns a deuce.
Now he has a 3 draw. He picks it up.
Look at that. He makes a wheel. He makes a running wheel. And Yoshi's still alive. Wow.
There's a big old smile on his face.
Boy. When you're sitting there with ace queen with that flop and you're all in, you're probably not thinking that you've got a good chance to hit a straight there. You're trying to spike an ace or a queen.
But I can guarantee you once that turn came a deuce, he knew that a 3 would give him that wheel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do that straight with something.
I know, Doug, you're playing so good, too. That's a sad pot.
I was playing
Go
great.
back to normal.
Go
back to normal.
And, I mean,
yes, I know.
Ken Berg still looks like he's a pretty big chip leader.
turn, I thought I'm home free. I'm home free.
Oh, yeah.
No,
What
the
a
turn was
He made a great laydown when
Oh, my God.
Amir was here. I mean, a good laydown. He had top pair
Can't
and
get any more hurt than you have.
folded his hand. He didn't have as good of a kicker as Chuck did in seat 4.
Hassan
So he kept his lead by
That was
not calling.
Jack 10 against
He had
Queen
Jack
Jack,
10,
right?
right.
most cash, 1.8 million.
But, saving chips in tournaments are just as important as,
Because he finished third, but he
not
had
losing
all the
them
chips
is
when
just
there
as
was
important as
300. He had almost 20 million.
winning them.
And twice he had the guys all in with the
Yeah, I
best
tried to
hand.
make him feel good a lot yesterday. I told you play bad. That's why you lost.
But no, literally, he's depressed. I mean, he's been depressed.
That hurt. That one stung me, Yosh.
Well, we're going to see a rare call.
I have no problem if you hit the
He's going to, seat 4 is going to limp in here.
He mixing his game up, I guess.
No, he wants to be the
So the big blind is going to get a free run. Seat 4 is in pretty good shape. He's got Walter Lack dominated. Ace 10 against 10 jack. Flop is a 4 deuce queen, rainbow.
Can't play when I see the
fight with
card.
anybody in poker games with him.
Just the two of you.
Oh, he's got mental problems.
Well, you would think that if ace 10 bets here, he's going to take it down.
Those are all my chips.
22.
He's going to bet 2,200.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And seat 1 mucks.
Yeah.
All right, Yosh, you know I'm going to
And Chuck takes it down, seat 4.
If I can stay out of Kenny's way.
Yes.
16, Kenny.
What a perfect opportunity. Everything I did right there.
Annie's, please.
$300 ante, of course, from each player there.
That's where these tournaments go. It's really not that much.
Ken Berg in the big blind.
Separates all these guys.
A little bit tough to steal all that money in there when your big blind is a huge chip leader. People got to think about that when they bring this pot in. See that Frank in seat 6, the bounty man's got a king queen, and it's suited. King queen of spades. And
He's raised to 5.
he's going to bring it in for $5,000.
Make him pay. You're not going to bust Frankie for cheap.
Seat number 7. Thought about it. He had a weak ace and he mucks.
Right.
How much you have left, right?
Not much. 5, 7, 9, 95, 10, 1.
Look at
There's
this.
10,100 left.
Ken Berg's got an ace jack offsuit.
Yeah, you got to put up 5.
And he's going to re-raise
10.
all in.
Get that bounty ready.
Now,
14.
yeah.
15, right?
At least he has 2 live cards there.
We got action.
I wonder who everybody's
You're the
rooting
favorite, Kenny.
Open up.
Well, Ken is a favorite with the ace, but we know one of the aces is dead.
Why would you do that to the queen?
So the odds are even closer when we know one of the cards, one of the aces is dead, and actually might make King Queen a slight favorite when we know one of the aces is dead.
Frank hits it.
Look at this. Ace of diamonds.
Oh.
He's got the
Diamond
flush
huge
draw. Wow, that's going to give trip queens to Frank in seat 6. Rivers of black deuce. Frank is
Frank
going to
wins,
down.
I did say you were the favorite, Kenny. Didn't I say you were the favorite?
Yeah, no, but I mean,
I knew when I called.
being in second, it's a slim second.
I know when I called, he was the favorite.
Good job security there, Rick.
Frank takes it down with the king queen.
You
don't have to know if having one of the aces quite makes king queen
I was
obviously a
gonna say, I don't
favorite,
think
but it definitely makes the odds closer.
Annie's, please.
Yes. Instead of I think it's close to 60-40, but I would imagine it's probably only 2% because the ace doesn't need to hit anything.
Right.
The queen and the king need to hit something. So I'm sure 2 plus 2 will give us the exact figures.
Well, I was also thinking in my head that I had seen that one of the jacks was dead too. So even with 2 cards, it's really, really close there.
Mm-hmm.
One of them.
I know.
So the bounty is still alive there.
And not just still alive now, he's back in healthy shape. Because he had 10,000 left when he had called, and he had raised to 5,000. So he has about 31,000 in front of him now.
No hesitation, right? Boom.
Looks like Walter Lack limped in there from the button. Didn't bring it in for a raise. That's a rare move in position there with a lot of dead money in there. Changing it up a bit. 3, 4, 8, rainbow.
I think you'd rather be up.
Ken Berg looks like he's got the best hand here with ace high.
I think you're better off to be up against a small pair.
But Walter Lack is going to move in position.
I don't have anything.
And he's going to take the pot down.
Nobody could really do anything. The only thing is maybe that Ken could have let out there with his, with his gut shot.
With his ace and his wheel draw.
Right, and his wheel draw, and hope to pick up the pot there. And
But again, like you said, Ken might be in that mode where he wants to protect his big stack. He might not want to take a lot of chances.
It was a limp pot and not really go after it, yeah.
All right, Walter, we'll get it all in, you and me. No, I want Frankie.
Now, I mean, I'm not sure how Ken feels comfortably, playing short-handed. But if I have a lot of chips in shootouts and I'm, about where they're at, 7 players, I tend to like to preserve the chips because I think if I can get down to four-handed, I can do well.
You like your short-handed play?
I like my, I practice short-handed play all the time, and I think a lot of players aren't comfortable with it, and I am comfortable with it. So I usually just sit and wait and go for it then.
So you don't necessarily want to gamble it up right at this stage? When
no, I gamble it up in the beginning, try to accumulate chips, and then I kind of sit back and wait till I get short-handed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Wow.
The small blind is going to fold to the big blind. The small blind folded there with a weak ace. The pot hadn't been brought in. A lot of players are going to make a move to try to pick up all that money with an ace with the first in. Now you're in that unique position where you're out of position because you're in the small blind, but you do have an ace.
But you have a strong hand against the blind hand.
Yeah.
And this is the one that said he was the most wild player at the table, but that's pretty tight.
That is pretty tight, yeah. Maybe Doug wanted to throw some of the players off there in the beginning, telling them that he was wild.
Yeah, saying it in front of you for their benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've seen him. We saw him lay down ace queen.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were out of the booth at that time. Player had raised in first position ace jack, and he laid down ace queen from the small blind.
Pot's been raised.
See, now Chuck's not missing the opportunities to raise in position here.
44.
Total 4,400?
Yes, sir.
Much more.
Seat 6 there, Frank Mariani.
28.
He's got a suited king. He's in good shape. Obviously, he doesn't know that.
That's a tough decision. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's folding.
He's gonna knock. Well, since the button there was in seat 4, I guess the last hand, maybe Frank had brought that in for a raise under the gun because the order of action doesn't really flow with what just happened because Doug was just in the small blind that last hand, it looked like. And now he has the button now.
Well, serious over there, huh?
Here.
Oh, right. 2 hands ago, he was in the big blind, so he would actually be calling with the weak ace. That makes sense.
A lot more sense.
Yeah.
Correct.
Did Kenny fall asleep?
Kenny, he's a little quiet. He's taking a rest.
Now it is going to be pure small blind against big blind, and the big blind's got pocket 5s.
Okay, we'll chop.
He's locked up. He's not brakes on.
No, he's kidding.
Yeah, he's joking. Frank said, we'll chop. And Craig asked Yosh, is he allowed to do that? And he's not allowed in tournament play, obviously. He mucked the Jack 6 offsuit.
My plan is not... What well?
3.
My plan is not working.
The next guy to go out and send you to your right,
Hey,
we haven't played all night. I mean, he's playing so good, I can't believe it.
I played great.
It's like a champ.
2 more hundred.
Hey, go back to my usual game. Goofy.
Cool.
Just being antied to death here.
Walter Lack in seat 1. He's going to limp in. He has an ace-9 offsuit. He's limping in under the gun. Chuck here. Seat number 4. He's got an ace-9 suited.
46 total.
He's going to raise. He's going to make it 4,600 total. A lot of the aces are already out. 3 aces are already out. Frank Mariani in the button. He's going to muck 7-8 offsuit.
Oh, so close. It's so far away.
Wow, good raise.
Wow. I was going to raise.
I knew it. That's why I
He
did.
took my raise away from me.
And he's going to take it down. Pretty aggressive play there. Maybe, sensing some weakness.
Well, I mean, we're talking about dead money, and there's extra dead money because one other player limped.
I think you always got to be careful about under the gun limper. A lot of people like to do that with big pocket pairs.
Yeah, that's true.
The limp all-in re-raise, right?
It's so bad. It's not even if I wanted to goof around, I can't goof around with it. That's how bad we are.
Pretty tight play right here. Seat 7 there. Mark Weidman on the button has picked up pocket 10s. A great hand no matter how many people, no matter what situation you're in.
He'll tell you later.
Yoshi's in the small blind here. He's going to muck. And the big blind's got a king deuce offsuit, and he's going to muck. And seat 7's going to take it down. Pocket 10. And he's going to show the hand.
Let him know I'm not stealing.
No, I wouldn't read about it in the papers.
Of course, when we're talking about seat numbers, so some of you that aren't familiar with the show, we're talking about right now from this perspective to Greg's right, but in reality to his left, but from this perspective to his right.
The man in the tie is seat 1.
Right, going around in a clockwise manner, all the way around to Yosh in seat 9.
Right, in the yellow.
Okay. There it is. By 52.
Looks like he moved all in finally with something.
Let me steal the blind.
Ace 5. He might be able to get away with this. It looks like we have Ace 10 from Ken Berg.
Oh, wow. Well,
yeah, he's not getting away with this.
Oh, you might get lucky against me. You have 52 total.
Ken Berg's got a lot of chips, and like you said, he has good pot odds, and he's in great shape.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know that the player in seat 5 is short chipped. He's going to move in with any weak ace or small pocket pair, and a lot of time he's going to be in a dominating or a race situation. He's got the chips. He can bust somebody. He's already has money invested.
And in this case, he's in a dominating position.
Yes.
Oh, that's not bad. We can get another. We can get a
so they just need a jack or a queen. They'll chop the pot.
Queen, jack, or 5. Queen, jack, or 5. Come on, baby.
That's no good, yeah.
And Ken Berg is going to increase his chip stack, his chip lead, it looks like there.
And Doug
in seat 5 is out of here.
Doug, you played super.
Yeah, but do I get any?
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't do much. He just really wasn't dealt much.
And he played pretty tight. And,
yeah, I wish he would have made the stand with ace queen, but
was a really, really nice guy.
You tried, Doug.
Very, very nice guy. And I think he wanted me to say hello to his 3 kids that are watching this at home.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. We're going to be on break in 10 minutes.
So we're going on break in 10 minutes, and the plan is for the break time for Hassan Habib to come and join us.
That's great. I'll be there in 3 minutes. 5 minutes.
Take it home, brother. Take it home.
I'd like to.
You got 2 stacks of blues over there, huh?
Well, Michael's out there. If you want Mo to try to get a game.
I'll be there in a minute. Get the game started, I'll play whatever you play.
It's working for you. Those blues are working for you, huh?
Seat 7 here. Mark Weidman's going to bring it in. Pocket 6s. He's going to raise to 6,000. Big blind's got ace queen offsuit here, surely. This is going to be
Kenny, I have
interesting.
to make that move there, you know? With the blind coming up.
You don't like to see flops, do you?
See, the thing here is seat 7 has a lot of chips.
You might not want to go up against a guy that can make you go
it's
broke,
not
right?
bad. I mean, it's just, I was thinking a re-raise. If short stack, definitely a re-raise is in order. But we might just see a flat call. We might not. Looks like he's putting money out for a raise.
That's the only time you couldn't win. You won every time except that one time. And you complain about that one little visible one you missed.
If you've got pocket 6s and you bring it in for a raise and you re-raise big out of the big blind, you're usually going to lay the hand down.
I would lay it down, yeah.
But we don't know what
Chuck's
Chuck's going to do here in seat 4.
But it's a tough decision here for Chuck. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, the player there, he's in fairly early position. He has tons of chips,
Definitely enough to cover him.
Yes.
This is a classic confrontation.
They don't know it's exactly that. It's just that call. That's what I kind of had a feeling that he was going to do, because he puts in a re-raise, puts in a raise and opens it for a re-raise. And I'm sure he's at a loss. Look at that. Flop set of sixes.
Set of sixes. All hearts on board, though. And it looks like ace queen is checked.
So the flat call's really going to work out to his benefit this time. He hits no piece of it, 3 hearts. I think he's going to be able to get away from this hand.
Yes, relatively easy. Different story if he had that ace of hearts.
Ace of hearts would be different, right?
Yep.
Now, it looks like Mark's sitting there trying to calculate the pot and how much you should be betting.
Did he say 17,000?
That's what I thought, but it looked like he only counted out 13. Looked like he had 3 stacks of 4 and 1 chip.
Well, regardless.
Regardless, he won
He's
the pot.
Take the pot.
Well, you can always have a rebuy if all the players agree.
And Doug is going to leave the table. And again, he's a very nice gentleman.
Yes.
Thanks for coming down and playing, Doug. And we might see more of him in the upcoming weeks as we continue to do more and more of these shows.
Right.
What kind of a normal game?
So, again, we're down to 6 players now.
And now we are 6-handed.
Yeah.
$300 antes, 816 blinds. We have a few more minutes of this level. After this level, we're going to take a 10-minute break, race off the reds, interview Hassan Habib, come back.
You'll be coming back. I'll be going home.
Blinds are going to be 1,000, 2,000 when we come back with $500 antes.
Yeah, I've got to go home and finish watching this, though. Curious to see how it plays out.
And I think we hear the buzzer right now, and that's the level buzzer.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Chuck in seat 4 has got the button. He's got a king-queen. Excuse me, seat 6 has got a king-queen.
Oh, I was going to say, he folded. Wow.
Seat 6 has got a king-queen.
Okay.
And he's going to raise.
He comes in for a raise.
You'll sit the hand anything.
Well, pretty easy muck there for 3-9
it is, yeah.
Yep. And we are going to go on a 10-minute break as they race off the
Well,
reds.
they are going on a 10-minute break.
Right.
You are not.
Gentlemen, please come back at 7:55.
Well, some of you that aren't familiar with tournament play, we're going to see a race-off here. Of course, a race-off is when we move up to levels where the smaller chip denominations are not going to play on the table.
They're not going to be a factor, right. We're going to be going to a $500 ante, so we will not need the $100 chips for an ante. So they're going to change those up for $500 chips.
Right.
Any leftover chips will be placed out in front of them, and they will race off. Give them 1 card per $100 chip, and then award the $500 chip to the player that has the highest card. If there's 2 chips, then they award them to the 2 players with the highest cards. 1 player is entitled to only 1 chip. Okay, we're back to the race-off here.
45.
Okay.
45.
So we'll just show you what we're talking about,
Right.
obviously what we just
Right.
explained.
So they're changing them up right there. And it looks like what we have there is 10 chips. We have Yosh with 4. In seat 9, the player in seat 1 with 1.
Walter Lack with seat 1. Ken Berg's got 1.
Ken Berg has 1. And then the player in seat 4 has 4 chips. So for each $100 chip, they're going to get 1 card. And there's going to be 2 chips awarded because it's $1,000, 2 $500 chips.
And of course, the
Here
higher...
we go, some more chips.
Yep.
So they'll have to count out the chips. It looks like for every $500 in chips, they get a chip. So he gets 3 cards, and then Yosh has 3 cards. So we have 3, 6, 10. We have 12 chips out there. That's 2 chips. So it'll go to the 2 highest cards.
We see an ace here in seat 7.
Right.
He's got 1 ace, so he's going to get... He actually has 2 aces, but he's still going to get 1 of the bigger
12
chips.
If it was 13, they would award 3 chips, but because it's only 12, they're going to give 2. The ace gets 1. He can only win 1. Even if he had 2 aces, he's only going to win 1. And then Chuck in seat 4 is going to win the other one with a queen.
A queen.
Right.
There we go. There we go. A lot of people don't get to see that if they're unfamiliar with tournaments.
That's racing off.
And that's what racing off is.
Okay, Bart. Well, I'm out of here, and I'll go see if I can find Hassan to come in and join you.
Well, I got word that they're going to toast Hassan
and Twan.
Twan
right.
in the grill room right now. And Hassan is going to join us in a few minutes.
After the toast.
So we will be back in a couple of minutes when Hassan will join me, and I'll be able to do a brief interview with him.
Okay.
So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Please stay tuned.
Ron, I have a feeling I'm going to have a hard time getting everyone back here in 10 minutes. I'm starting up the draw, going back to have a little post in the draw.
Hey, Scotty, we don't have an extra box, do we? Or extra shuffle? These are really jacking up the cards. They're really dirty. Look at.
Here, let's change the whole deck.
But look at what it's doing. I got this one. I got this 10. I got the queen here.
Really?
Look at how they're scuffing up.
Let's get the box out of here.
Yeah.
Get a new box.
I don't mind suiting these,
No,
but
don't worry about that.
Don't worry about suiting it.
Just start the new setup. I'll get a new machine.
Let's see the colors.
Right to the left. See you on top. I'm going to switch. That one's getting more. Okay, let me get that.
okay. I got it unplugged for you, so.
Okay. Get the room.
C2, C5, and C8 are out, right?
258, yeah.
We got that one in there. Good. Oh, we got an extra tight fit. Okay. Thank you, sir. Ron, when you get a chance, can you come and fix Mark's chips?
We're going to count them.
Oh, you guys are counting them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stack of 500 is what, 10,000?
10,000.
Okay, this is 20, 30, and 500 short. 40, 39.5. It was plugged in right to one of these, right there. All the way in. It was in the white power source.
Okay, we should get a light here in a second.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
It's going to be probably 1,000 off. 20.
Thanks, Scotty.
There's 60, right? 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 66, 66.5.
And Yosh is at 15.5.
10, 12, 15.5.
You know I like cool.
What's up, Donna?
How many players did you start out?
I only busted one.
You started out nine-handed?
I don't know.
It's a tournament. I thought it was going to be white chip. It's a tournament. You want to sign in?
What chips that? Blue chip, what's that?
Those are thousands. Start them up, huh, Kenny?
I'll win all the antes, and that'll be the end.
That'll be enough. Right now. You want to push in now? Or you want to?
Yeah.
Okay. They're suited. New box. They got the chip counter ready. Just go ahead. And this is the box right there.
So up and deal.
Let's
get rid of some of these chairs, huh?
What game gonna be?
It's no limit Holton. That's all it is. Okay? Got it?
Thanks. How much supply gonna be?
It'll be a $500 ante. Why should be 1,000, 2,000.
1,000,
There's a
2,000.
piece of, there's the list there, instructions there.
2,000, ante 500.
500 ante, 1 in 2,000 blind. Someone.
Got me on these.
Let's measure this one.
And this one, you got me 1,000 there, and then another 10,000. Right. We should move these ones north, right? Yeah.
Shuffle up and deal. 755 is what they said.
Yeah, let's go.
Start.
Come on, Mark, sit down. We're going to blind them off. Oh, we're playing? All right, we're playing.
And we are back, and I am here with Hassan Habib. Thanks for joining me in the booth tonight, Hassan.
Oh, thank you.
I know that they're throwing a function for you and Twan for your recent accomplishment at Bellagio.
Yeah, they just threw a cocktail party for us over here, and so it's fun. Fun out here because we always play over here, you know, when we're not on tour.
Uh-huh.
In Yosha's game out here, and
I think we've actually had you on the show before. You've played in one of our white chip games that we had early on, 3-6 Hold'em, or one of the mixed games really early on.
I think about 3 weeks ago I did play.
Yeah, that mixed game that we had. You guys normally would play like a Padugi, Triple Draw, Omaha, and Hold'em games.
Yeah, all that crazy mix.
And so obviously you finished third place at 5 Diamond, and Twan won the.
What is it?
Won the tournament. And you played against Twan at the final table at Foxwoods too. The other one that he had won, right?
Oh, actually no.
Oh, you did. You hadn't. You had made the final table at an earlier WPT event.
500.
Yeah, that was against somebody else. Yeah, the 15,000 and no. Well, the one that I made the final in was the same one, the 25,000 last year. I finished second in that one.
And, you know, boy, Twan's come out really about. I mean, he says he's only been playing tournaments for about a year or two, and he's really kicked some butt, right, in the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. Yeah. He's doing really well.
You know, I was reading a card player article about you, Hassan, talking about how, you know, in early 2000 you were really, you know, down in your luck, and that was kind of a turnaround year for you. Won a bunch of tournaments, got your bankroll back up, and then you know, played solidly. And
2000 was a really good year.
Yeah.
For me. 2000 was, yeah. That's I finished 4th in the World Series of Poker, the main event over there. And netted 326,000. I bought my first house, and you know, so that was a really good start for me. That was a good break for me.
Are you looking forward to this year's World Series, obviously?
This year's World Series, yeah, it's going to be probably 6,000 players, so, you know, it's going to be not as easy to win it, you know, or make the final table, but it'll be pretty rewarding if you can.
Absolutely. What do you think about, you know, the possibility of, you know, a pro winning that event? And do you think, you know, all this talk about is there positive expectation to enter that tournament with so many players? Do you look at it as a great tournament to enter because there's going to be a lot of dead money? Obviously, it's very, very hard to score with so many people. How do you approach a tournament with such a large field?
You still got to play it like any other tournament, but it's going to be easier to accumulate chips, but also you can get a beat. Because going through 6,000 players is not a joke, and it's probably going to be several days long. It might be a 10-day tournament. Who knows how long it's going to be? So,
have you thought about how you were going to adjust to that size of field? Would you tighten up early on because you don't want to get knocked out? Because you would think that your skill level is much better than 99% of the field. Or would you like to gamble it up a little bit, accumulate some chips in the beginning, and then move some chips around over some of the players?
As always, you gotta keep in mind who you're playing with. You know, if it's a tight player, you gotta adjust your game. If it's a loose player, you gotta adjust your game. You gotta go with the flow. There's no hard and fast rules, you know. And you gotta go how you feel, basically.
Hassan, of course, we're doing a shootout right now. We've got seat 6 who's got pocket aces. That's Frank Mariani. He has a $5,000 bounty on his head. Seat number 7's got pocket jacks, and he's flopped a set. Boy, that's going to be difficult for aces to get away from, huh?
It's kind of hard, even though the flop looks kind of dangerous. But if the guy with the set puts a lot of money in, it's going to be a tough call for Jerry, because the flop is 7-9 jack with 2 diamonds. So.
Well, and that's what Mark Weidman from seat 7's going to do. And Frank's going to move quickly all in with his aces, and we're going to see the $5,000 come unless he spikes an ace here.
He's in real bad shape. Yeah. And he needs to flop an ace. That's it.
Wow. Turns a diamond. Look at that.
Oh my God, it's a split pot.
River's a 10. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Hassan.
That's insane, man.
A chop pot.
It came runner. So 7-9 jack, turn coming 8, and River came a 10, gave him a straight.
Wow.
Both players chopped it up. That's insane.
You know, people talking about internet poker being rigged and seeing some crazy hands, but look at this. We see a live hand.
So he needed a 10. Like he needed a 10 that wasn't a diamond, or he needed the ace of spades. The other ace would have been a diamond also. So he had 3 outs to chop it and 1 out to win.
That's unbelievable when he hits his 3 outer.
That is amazing.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I was talking to Twan about this. You've played with some of these guys before. Most of them are local business owners, and it's interesting to see a lot of these players who play that aren't professional poker players, but take the game very, very seriously. You know, they have a lot of money themselves, but they have a very strong competitive drive. You know, and they're not just going to throw away money. And you know, you've played with Jerry Buss before, obviously.
Exactly.
Right?
Jerry Buss has improved a lot. Frank Mariani also, and Kenny Berg is a retired businessman, and his game has improved a lot also.
Yeah. And actually, I've seen some really solid play from Ken Berg, and excuse me, actually, I said that Yosh had got busted out. He actually sucked out on someone earlier, so he's still in the hand with some chips. Yeah, he had actually...
We're down to 6 players.
Yeah, we're down to 6 players. Do you have a lot of experience in satellites? Have you gotten into big tournaments through one satellite shootouts before?
Oh yes, I used to like to play satellites quite a bit before, and I used to have good luck with them. You know, in the 5,000 events or 10,000 events, I like playing the 1 tables. Nowadays, the super satellites are great also.
Oh, the super satellites, which of course are multi-table tournaments when they usually pay off 10% of the field, right, and give a seat away to that final event. So satellites are a great way to get into a big event, right?
Right.
You don't necessarily, even if you have the money, you wouldn't necessarily fork it over. You'd like to play some satellites to get into big events.
Excuse me?
You wouldn't necessarily, even if you have the money, fork it over to get into a tournament. You'd like to play some satellite events and see if you can get in cheaper.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So that is, unbelievable. And how much did you win here for third prize? 800 and something thousand, right?
Yeah, it was almost 900.
Almost 900,000?
Yes.
Did you feel that you played really, really well?
I think I played all right. I think I played pretty good. I was happy with my play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw that there was one hand I was reading about in the event report where the the grinder there, who won the LA Poker Classic, had put you all in when you had pocket queens.
Correct.
He's making a move on you with sixes, and you thought about it and you called.
Yes.
And you ended up accumulating a lot of chips off of him on that hand, right?
Yes. That was the biggest pot so far that far in the tournament.
Uh-huh.
$6.5 million pot right there.
Did you feel that you were at least ahead or against an ace-king when you made that call? You thought
no, I felt that he had a weak hand, really.
Really?
Yeah, because I rated him out, sensed him out, and felt him out, and then I made a calculated call, and I really did think I had a big hand. So otherwise I wouldn't have jeopardized all my chips,
Well, obviously queens is it can be a vulnerable hand. You can be beat, obviously. You don't want to see someone have aces or kings,
of course,
right?
That's why it was so hard to call.
Yeah. You ended
I ruled those out, though. I ruled aces and kings out before I called.
You had a pretty good read on him.
I thought I did.
Yeah. Obviously, you were correct. So, Mr. Lack here, Walter Lack, I don't know if you've ever played with him in seat 1 there on the button. He's moved all in for the remaining amount of his chips with 9 jacks suited. And Frank Mariani's got an ace-jack, so you'd think that's probably going to be a call there from the big blind with ace-jack, right, when you're six-handed in a tournament like this.
Probably will call,
not much more chips, only 5,000 more.
Well, I know you got me. I know you have me, but I'm going to call you.
So ace-jack's in really good shape here, Hassan, against 9-jack.
Right.
He's got him in a dominating position.
The 9-jack is suited, so, he's got some chances.
So this is
see what the flop brings.
Yeah.
9.
Oh,
look at this, Hassan! Isn't this unbelievable?
That's insane. He's a jack to survive.
Oh, wow.
9's over Jack.
The 9's over Jacks wins.
That's for the jacks. That's amazing.
Well, Hassan, I really want to thank you for coming in because I know that you want to get back to your party, and I really, really appreciate you coming in and spending the time. I hope that we can talk to you more in the future.
Sure.
And I hope that you tune into Live with the Bike and watch some live-action cash poker.
Yeah, sure, I will.
Okay. Thank you very much for stopping by.
All right, thanks a lot.
This is like the World Poker Tour, but you get instantaneous feedback.
You don't have to wait a month.
I'm asking if I made mistakes. Like, dude, you're the worst of any mistake. And then they were all talking about your hand again.
Yeah, that was bad.
Hello.
Oh, and look at that. Changing from Hassan Habib to Denny Williams.
Boy, have I been busy tonight. Running around doing this tournament. We got another tournament. We had a party for Twan Lee and Hassan Habib. It's a busy night at the Bicycle Casino.
Absolutely. So we're down to 6 hands here.
I'm sure glad Frank stayed alive. Frank's got to be the nicest guy in the world.
Well, that was just an unbelievable hand there, Denny, when he hit the chop there on the end.
The straight came on the board there.
Look at this. Chuck has flopped a straight right now. He's bet 2,000, and Frank is called. Frank could go bust here. Well, Frank, he doesn't make the straight.
Yeah, Frank's only open-end.
He's only open-ended. I thought he had top pair, but he didn't. Now it's 3's going to bring, so he hasn't made his draw, so he's going to muck the hand.
He let it go.
Chuck's going to take it down.
Frank looks like he has about 15, maybe 20,000 left.
We had a chip count here from Joker Gaming that was brought to you at the break. When Hassad came in, we didn't have a chance to talk about it. Frank had about 36,000, but he had gone all in, so that's obviously very different now. Walter Lack had about 18,000 at the break. Kenny Berg, who hasn't really played a hand, he's got about 48,500. That's Frank's chip stack right there. So that maybe looks like about.
George, you hanging on down there?
Just barely. Right in
What's
there.
that? Maybe 20,000 there, Denny? Something like that. Maybe 20,000. Yeah. Seat 7, he's got about 66,000. So seat 7's the chip leader. Ken Berg is a second.
There's a total of 225,000 in chips on the table. Each player started with 25 grand.
Well, I don't know if you want to play
And
that.
the limit should be starting to creep up there now. They should
Absolutely.
be playing, what, a 500 ante? And the blinds are...
It's a 500 ante. The blinds are 1,000, 2,000 right now.
So,
I really love the way that you structured this.
well, I kind of ran the numbers in the computer to give me a guideline because we wanted a 4-hour tournament. And,
you still gave him a lot of chips. Obviously, the blind started high, but you got 25,000 in
Sure.
chips.
Yeah.
The levels were 20 minutes, which are fairly short levels. But I mean, usually you don't see a shootout. When you're in a shootout tournament, you play your one table, you go on to play a multi-table, and the shootout portion only lasts for. You try to get it over by 4 hours, right?
Yeah. They're not playing for chump change either.
No.
First place, $40,000.
Yeah.
Second gets their money back, $5 grand, and there's a $5,000 bounty on good old Frank Mariani there.
And he made that miracle comeback on that man. And Yosh actually made a crazy suck out before the end, before
Did
the
he?
break
I
too.
missed
Yeah.
that one.
Oh, okay.
Made a wheel, made a running straight. He could have caught some overcards to win, but he's still in there. But he's very, very.
Oh, I did see that
chips.
one. Yeah, it was still out on the floor.
Yeah.
He caught it on the river.
He's a real nice guy. Yeah.
As we were saying that, the only real pro players at the table were Yosh and Bob in seat number 8 there. Most of these other guys are.
Ken Berg's a pretty regular player.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But most of them are, they're businessmen, and that is not to say that they're not good players, because, like you said, Ken Berg plays on almost a daily basis here, and he's a strong player. He was my pick actually to win beforehand.
Oh, he might just do it.
Yeah. Bobby Belan had got caught when he had aces, and Yosh flopped a set on him, committed all his chips.
I could speaking up the room.
Frank's going to raise here from seat 6. He has an ace-8 suited here.
Mark appears to be the chip leader there.
Yes, he is the chip leader.
40, 50, about 55,000.
He's got about 65,000, looks like it. Well, the blind's probably knocked him down a bit, yeah. And he's going to muck. He's played pretty solidly here all night, too. Now, Yoshi's got pocket 9s, and he's pretty short stacked, so you'd expect him to go all in, and he does. And Frank probably is going to have odds. He's going to get the pot odds to call.
No, he can't knock you out. At least we're safe.
One thing they're doing that you can't see here on the table right next door, they're starting a $1,000 buy-in game for these guys and a couple others that want to get in.
Oh, really?
So they got a little live action game to fall back on.
So ace-8 is suited against pocket 9s.
7-5 deuce, rainbow flop. There's an ace.
Oh, there's the ace, and that's going to knock Yosh out. Yosh was ahead, and here goes our other pro player, and we're down to 5. And then
Frank Mariani picks up a big pot here.
Yeah. Yosh, of course, our big game host here at the Bicycle Casino.
And they have one going, too. They're playing a 300-600 mixed game right now. Per Yosh's request, we added his mixed game to our Legends of Poker this year.
Oh, great.
First ever. It's going to be a $5,000 buy-in.
Yeah.
The games are going to be Badoogie.
Triple draw, right?
No, triple draw also.
Yeah.
Badoogie, triple draw, Omaha High-Low, and Limit Hold'em.
Well, that's what the game that they play.
We call it Be Hot.
Actually, the button will be over here.
Yeah.
It'll be small blind, big blind.
You're questioning about the button because the player breaks or busts and
the button freezes,
the button has to freeze in a tournament.
Ante, please.
So we're down to 5 handles right now. Again, seat number 7 there. He's got about 60. He's got about 64 to 65,000. He's still the chip leader. But look, Frank Mariani's got a few chips now to play with.
Lost 4 players so far. We're halfway into the tournament.
Well, you got to figure when you're on the button, you've got a large chip stack. You can throw your chips around. A lot of dead money in the pot, and you would think that Mr. Weedman on a seat 7 is going to raise, and it looks like he is going to. He's picked up an okay hand. He's got King 8 offsuit. Going to raise it up to 6,000.
I'm waiting for you. Caddy, I'm still here waiting for you.
All you had to do is be
I played in a one-table satellite today, and from everything I've learned, doing this show, my table was so super weak. but I humbled myself. I didn't want to I didn't want to think I could run over the table. You still need the cards, but the play was so weak, and I did end up chopping the satellite with a guy.
Was that a $40 buy-in?
Yeah, it was just a little one.
Yeah.
But had I not worked it live at the bike and watched the show night after night after night, I wouldn't have known how weak the table was.
So you've learned some.
Oh, yeah, I learned a lot.
That's great.
I've learned a lot.
Well, the blinds are 1 and 2 right now, so, sometimes you think a standard size raise is 3 times the blind is 6,000. It looks like the small blind has just completed here. So the small blind is completed, and it's heads up. Seat 3 against seat 4. Jack 9 against a deuce 3. It goes check, check on the flop. Turn is another ace. And Ken Berg's going to lead out with his jack. Now, Chuck has got a wheel draw, but Ken Berg has the best hand. He has Jack 9. He had checked the 9 on the flop. So he's got the pair, and he's going to lead, and he's going to take it down.
The tape will show you I had
And Ken Berg increases his chips a little bit. So as it gets more and more critical throughout the show, obviously when it gets to these late tournament stages, I think we're going to try to keep close track of the amount of chips that each player has in front of them. Maybe do some chip zooming sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do
yeah.
that.
Mr. Lack in seat 1, he's going to raise to 4,000.
Thebike.com.
He raised 4,000. So it's actually
right,
6,000. Yeah.
I'm not going to call you.
Oh, he's got a deuce 8.
How sad.
Of course, the bike has added a bounty.
We added $5,000, correct.
That's all I saw. Well, that just helped me pay the end.
Now that I get these big paychecks, I can add, 5,000 here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So 5-handed tournament play, the strategy changes up. Any aces, pretty good. Now Walter Lack, he's first into the pot, and he's got a suited ace, ace-5 of hearts. Pretty good hand, 5-handed, and he's going to raise. He's going to bring it in, he's going to raise, looks like 6,000. So he's going to make it 8 total, 4 times the big blind, and he's going to take it down. Each time we don't see a flop here, Denny, we're looking at $2,500 in antes and $3,000 in blinds.
So $5,500.
$5,500 that you pick up.
That's not bad little theft there.
Again, it's very, very rare that you'd see a multi-handed pot at this stage of a no-limit tournament. This is a lot of blind stealing, anti-stealing.
No, there's 5 in there. There's 5 of us. Need 6. No, we're fine.
Twice.
Wow. Hey, wow. What are you drinking?
All right. I thought I was lying.
I saw you put it in.
Ken Berg mucks. Chuck in seat 4 mucks. Button's going to muck. So it's up to the small blind in seat 7. He doesn't have much of a hand. He's got 10-4 offsuit. He's going to muck, and the big blind's going to get all the antes without even having to play anything.
Turn him in there, Walter.
Oh. There you go. I get him. There's a way to win him. Start from the player.
Diddy, I was talking to Ken Berg before the show, and he was under the impression that this game is going to go on a lot of Thursdays, maybe even a $10,000 buy-in shootout.
It's possible. These guys, they love to gamble.
Yep.
They have their weekly little sessions.
Look at this. Frank Mariani in seat 6 has picked up pocket aces. He's made it 6,000. 5-handed. What a monster hand.
Not sure if he's going to get anybody called.
Ken Berg's only got a 6-10 offsuit.
Nice hand, Kenny.
And I'm sure he's going to show Denny, and he does.
Play it. Oh, baby. Nothing. Maybe after lunch.
Frank took Jerry's spot today because Jerry had a previous engagement.
Yeah, I want to see another treatment.
Zoomed in on his NBA championship ring there on his right hand.
Yeah. Frank's got over 30,000, probably closer to 40.
Good, it's about time.
Well, if it's 5-handed and there was 225,000,
aces.
the average chip stack would be about 45,000. That would be the average.
Correct.
It looks like the blinds are going up after this hand. I heard the buzzer.
You heard that?
I did.
That's pretty good.
We're going to stay with the same ante, but the blinds are going to go up to 15-3.
These young whippersnappers, they can hear real well.
Well, we talk about any ace having a lot of value short-handed. And seat number 7 with the chip lead, Mark Wiedemann, he's going to bring it in with the ace-5 offsuit. And you wouldn't think that Chuck would want to trifle around with the chip leader with 7-9 suited. Look at this, though. He's going to put a call in. So it's ace-5 offsuit against 7-9. 7-9 has live cards. He's flopped a pair. Now the
Queen
problem
7-5.
he doesn't know exactly where he is in the hand, Denny. It's like he's going to bet, though, and he is going to bet.
Each player does have a pair. He's got the biggest pair of the two.
He's got second pair, right? He's going to bet $6,500 into about a $12,000 pot.
No tells on him. He's a poker face.
And looks like ace-5 might muck here. And he does. And Chuck takes it down. Rabbit Cam shows a 6 on the turn.
Still a $500 ante. Blinds now $1,500. And big blind.
I got to tell you one great play I made today.
As the blinds go up, okay.
One player had 450 in chips. The other one had 200 in chips. And the one guy that with the 400, he bet 100. The other guy called, so I counted down the other guy, and I put him all in. And he folded, and then the other guy folded. So I stole the $200. I had like Queen 10 or something. I mean, it wasn't a bad hand, but it wasn't a real strong hand. But I was playing the player at that point, and I was real proud of myself for that. I learned it right here, folks. Bart's going home with the twins, or Bart going home alone?
They've run the card odds on that one. Russ McGinley, he doesn't know
How about Bart
going
going home with one twin? You didn't put that in there. I'm sure they will. We'll update you later. That's 2 plus 2 we're talking about, of course. Mark's got a Queen 9. He mucks it. Ace 10 will take it down.
Well, that's a pretty good hand, 5-handed. Kenny Berg's going to take it down with the ace 10. Well, Twan Lee was in here earlier, Denny. Boy, he feels on top of the world, and if I was him, I'd feel the same.
I sure would.
You know?
Does he still have his money, though? That's the
question. I think it was about $3.2 million, Richard.
Does he still have it, though?
Well,
you know, it's sad but true. A lot of these guys like to hit the craps table.
No,
after they win those big tournaments.
Absolutely.
And I know Hassan Habib has lost some money there in previous years.
Walter Lack in the big blind, he's got a 9-10 suited. So depending on how much this might get raised to, let's see what happens here. Mariani's going to muck his 3-6 offsuit.
Give me the money.
Mark,
It's all mine anyway.
Mark in seat 7's got a suited king. He's got king 6.
I think he's going limp. That's my guess.
I think he's going to raise. It looks like he's dipping in for chips. And he is going to raise.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Look at this. Walter Lack quickly calls with his suited connector. So we're looking at about a $13,000 pot right now. 12 to 14,000. Wow, and he's flopped top pair right away. Walter Lack's got second pair.
King 10-4.
And Walter checks his king from up front, maybe trying to induce a bet. And look at this, he's going to check raise all in with this king. And Walter Lack quickly mucks with his 10.
100%.
I don't know if we can see Walter's stack there in seat 1, but he took a pretty good beating.
I think he's got about 15. No, not even that. He's got about 12,000 left.
12,000 left. And with the blinds being 1,500, 3,000, he only has about 4 times the big blind. So he's probably in all-in mode.
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. He's going to look for an ace and probably push it all in.
Maybe even a king at this point.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. He's in the small blind right now. And he's picked up a pretty decent hand, 5-handed in the small blind. He's got Queen Jack suited. Now, if it gets mucked to him on the button, you got to think he's going to move here. And it does. And he is going to move it all in from the small blind. Now, Ken Berg's got a Jack. Look, oh, he's got a King 8 suited. And he flops up
king.
and down.
Oh, 2 pairs.
2 pairs.
Wow.
And look at this. Jack Queen actually just limped there, Denny. I thought he moved all in,
And
but he limped from the small blind.
And he has a good shot straight draw, too.
Yeah.
He needs a 10 for the straight.
Ken Berg checks right behind him. So Ken may be trying to set a trap here with his 2 pairs. Again, Walter Lack had... wow. And it's a $3,000 bet by Ken Berg and a call from Lack in seat 1. River's a 5.
5 makes 2 pair for Ken.
Well, Ken already had 2 pair with a King 8.
Walter's not going to bet. I mean, Ken's not going to bet. He saw his hand. He prematurely turned it over.
I thought you should have 5. No.
See what happened? I misunderstood me. I can't bet it on that.
Of course not.
So I thought he was just checking what he got.
No.
Of course not, Kenny.
I wouldn't do that.
I don't know exactly what happened there, Denny.
Walter thought Ken was going to check and started opening his cards.
Oh, okay.
And flashed the cards. And Ken said, well, I'm not going to bet now. I'm too nice of a guy.
Well, Ken Berg was trying to set a trap there. He had flopped 2 pairs, King 8 on the flop.
So it's evened out quite a bit here.
We'll go to the next hand now.
Here we go.
If I get half of my chips, it'll be even. And Walter doesn't think it's even either.
I thought that Lack had moved all in there. And he just limped.
No.
Yep. He just limped from the small one.
He's down to about 7,000 or 8,000 now.
I'm always rooting for the underdog.
I lost 10 to Mark.
Again, the blinds are...
I think you had a big pair.
You know, these guys lose thousands of dollars like you and I lose 20s. It's true.
Absolutely.
Someday we can play this big part.
Now this gets limps here. Gets limped. Ken Berg is limped from the small blind. Chuck, seat 4, gets a free ride from the big blind. He's got ace-9 offsuit. Flop is a king 6-10. Chuck is going to bet from position. He has the best hand with ace-high, and he's going to take it down.
You know what would be fun to do? Do a little tournament out here, live on the bike with all the commentators. Let the producer and the directors, they can do the commentating that day.
Well, it's funny, you know, Vicky and Grace of 3060 fame on Live at the Bike asked me this morning if they could commentate while I played.
Wouldn't that be fun? We should.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can arrange that someday. You, me, Jennifer, Yana, Tuckman. Am I missing anybody?
Shirley.
That's 6 of us.
Again, the blinds are 1,500, 3,000, so...
I'll bring in 3 ringers. That'll fill the table up.
Well, now Walter Lack, he's got Queen Jack suited, and he's going to move all in.
He's going to move it all in, right?
Yeah. Frank.
He's got 1, 2, $6,500.
Look at this. Seat 4's got ace-9, and Frank Mariotti's got ace-deuce.
And it's only going to cost Frank $3,500 more to call.
Well, we got a caller in between, and he says I was going to call, but now with you calling in between, I don't know.
Not sure if he wants to.
Yeah.
Now, Frank, be careful. If you see the ace, what are you going to do?
So there's still action between 2 people that are in the hand.
That's
So we're
right.
not
Frank's
open
looking
hands.
for deuce something.
4-6 queen. What a monster flop for Queen Jack of clubs.
It sure is.
Top pair with a flush draw.
Frank will lay that down quickly.
Chuck bets here.
Now I'm going to show it, boys. I got a little potential.
We know one of the aces is dead.
Yeah.
So Chuck's got 2 outs here to
No
hit.
ace, please. That'd be a special request.
4 on the turn.
Oh,
He's
There's
got
a flush.
First flush.
Take it down.
Walter Lack with 2 callers there. I think it was about 6,000. Picks up over 20,000 on that pot there, Denny.
Yeah.
So that's all it takes, you know, one hand and no limit tournaments to build your chip stack up.
I played a satellite yesterday. A guy was down to 1 chip. He lost a big pot, and we called him back to the table. Hey, you got 1 chip left.
Yeah.
I think he won the satellite. He came back.
Again, we're playing for $40,000 for first place. Second place is $5,000. There's a $5,000 added bounty on Frank Mariotti's head in seat 6.
That's right. So if Frank wins the tournament, he gets to keep that $5,000.
Well, he bounties himself, right? He wins the bounty on himself.
Race.
5.
Walter Lack, seat number 1. He's got pocket 5s. He's going to raise. He's going to make it 8,000 total.
A total of 8. You owe 3 more. I raised 5.
Ken Berg, he's got King Jack suited. He's going to call. So we're going to look at least a 20,000 chip pot here. Frank's going to muck his Queen 8 suited. Seat 7 most likely is going to muck Deuce 9 offsuit.
Anybody else? Anybody else want a cocktail?
All right, head up here.
Wow, Ken Berg's flopped the flush draw.
Ace Queen 4.
Yep. And it goes
Clubs.
check. Ken Berg checks right behind
There's
pocket
a deuce.
5s. And it goes check again on the turn.
Jack comes. Ken
Rivers
catches
and
up.
Jack.
He lets Ken catch up.
Yep. Ken's going to take it down.
Not that he would have scared him out anyway.
And look at this, Ken. Well, no, look like Ken. No, Ken's going to move all in. He's going to move all in on the river.
Walter quickly lays it down.
Sorry, big blind.
Are you raising blind, Kenny?
Yeah, there, Kenny. Ace 9, Kenny?
I was going to make a comment, but I have no way to do it.
Okay. Well, look at this. Frank Mariani on the button. He's picked up Ace Queen offsuit, a monster hand, 5-handed.
Yeah, right here. That's it. I'm all in.
Chuck's going to limp from seat
There
4
goes
with
Frank.
Ace 5.
Ace Queen, all in.
Yep. Looks like for how much there, Denny? Maybe
I'd
20,000.
say he's got 30,000,
30,000.
close to 30,000 there.
A lot of money in that pot, though.
I want Frank to win tonight. If you haven't guessed who I'm rooting for.
So Chuck is going to have to call. Look at this. He is going to call.
He does call.
Wow.
So he's got the weaker ace.
He had to call almost an additional 20. Look at that, 30,000 chips.
Boy, if Frank pulls this off, it'll put him chip leader for
Well, he's
sure.
He's in great position here. He's got him
Flop is
dominated.
ace 6-4. Ace 6-4. There's a 7.
That's going to give 5 an open-ended straight draw. Oh, it doesn't get there
Ace
on the
is
river.
up with a queen. Frank Mariani is going to take this down. What a huge pot.
Wow.
Man, that was scary for a moment.
Took a
there,
deep
huh?
breath there when that 7 came on the turn, giving a 5 an open-ended straight draw.
Frank is some kind of player.
Of course, Frank had the redraw with the Queen of Spades
Queen
for
of
the
Spades
flush.
for the flush.
Yeah.
We call you the Dominator.
And that's not going to quite knock Chuck in seat 4 out of the out of the tournament,
Chuck still
but
has
he's
some
got
money. He still's got 15, 16,000 maybe.
maybe 16,000. Again, the blinds are this level are 1,500.
Yeah, he's got about 15, 16,000.
Yeah, he's dangerous.
1,500, 3,000. So he's in all-in mode. He's got maybe 4 or 5 times the big blind.
Good shot at it.
Frank Mariani or Mark. Either Frank or Mark are probably the chip leader here.
Who's it on?
I think Frank's got a little more than Mark.
Raise 6,000.
Wow, look at this. Frank has got King Queen suited. And we can see Walter Lack in C1's got pocket 4. So he
Yeah.
might move in all over the top depending on how many chips he's got left.
He's not too big of a threat though. He's got less than 10,000.
And that's what he's going to do. He's going to move. And obviously Frank is going to call with his King Queen suited. And it's going to be a classic race situation. We saw that one of the 4s is dead in seat 3's hand.
Yeah, man.
6,500 more.
Ken Berg has one of the 4s.
Oh, 6,500 total.
And we know a lot of the spades are dead here,
So
too.
there's only one live 4, right?
Yep.
A lot of spades are dead.
Yep.
A lot of time he hits
No
it.
kings or queens out.
Oh, I like
That's
Two
a good
sevens and a
flop for
5.
pocket 4s.
There's a 9.
Another showdown hand.
And the ace, pocket fours, go take it down.
Walter Lack's going to take down the pot. He's still alive in seat 1.
So now he's got about 13,000 plus the blinds and antes. He had 65 and Frank is 13. He was a small blind. So he's up around the 17,000
chips
area.
When I was on the 5.
3 players, yeah, 3 players.
Frank, I got my eyes on you. That's 5. If Baby's going to beat me, I want you
And I think we're probably approaching the end of this level.
That's a good attitude.
It's been 20 minutes already?
Almost.
Wow.
Look at this. Walter Lack from the button. He's picked up ace-king offsuit.
No.
And seat number 7 has got what looks to be
ace-10, was it?
ace-10 offsuit. So we're probably going to see a raise and a re-raise here, I would imagine. We could see some of these chip stacks go to war here. Ace-10 has a great hand, 5-handed. See how much he raises it up here. He's going to make it 8,000 total.
8,000.
I wonder if Walter might move all over the top, all in here from the button, and that's what he's going to do.
He does move all in.
Go, Walter!
Let's see how much he's going to make it.
Sure, Ken and Chuck will both fold.
Remember, the raise was 8,000 total. Let's see how much Walter has left.
No. Is that right? No, these are 5. Oh, these are 5 stat. That's 25. Come on, here. That's not very. Sorry. 3. 11,000 raise.
So he's going to raise back 11,000.
That's 15.5 raise. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, you did it.
Walter hasn't been too good on stating how much the chips have been tonight. I corrected him a couple times. But he's having a good time.
16. 10, 13, 16,000.
So 16,000 more for ace-10 to call. He made it 8,000 total. So it's 20,000, at least 20,000 in the pot, 16,000 more. So it's around a 40,000 chip pot, and it's 16,000 a call. So if you put the guy in a lower pocket pair, well, you're definitely going to call for odds. What you're worried about is if you're dominated, and he is dominated.
He's got about 50,000.
Look at this, he's going to mock the hand. He makes it right down.
I really wanted to call.
And Walter on the verge of elimination.
Well, before this hand, I had an approximate chip count, and this, remember, is before that last hand. Walter had 20,000, Ken 70,000, Chuck 16,000, Frank 50,000, and Mark in seat 7 50,000.
So Mark's gone down to about 40, and Walter's gone up to about 30.
30, correct.
Yeah.
Should be about right.
Yeah, pair of jacks?
At least.
Yeah, a pair of jacks was good. If you had at least that.
Chuck, who on the short stack, he's going to move all in. He has a gap-suited connector. And you would imagine that Frank's going to call here with an ace. And Frank is going to call with an ace, and he's going to be favored. Excuse me, seat 4's got a 7-queen. Sorry, Ken mocked the 8-10. So it's a queen 7 against an ace 5.
Oh, Chucky!
Queen 8-3.
Look at that, the queen comes right on the flop.
There's
the ace.
Ace for Frank.
King of clubs.
Frank will take it down.
Frank's going to take it
down.
down.
Knocking out Chuck.
Chuck is out. And we're down to four-handed.
Four-handed.
Wow.
This is live at the bike, folks. Live at the Bicycle Casino, Bell Gardens, California, just outside of Los Angeles. Frank Mariani.
Got a $5,000 added bounty on his head from the Bicycle Casino. Of course, if he wins the tournament, he wins his own bounty.
That's right.
Blind, please. 15.
So we're down to four-handed. And the chips are almost, they're pretty evenly distributed now. Obviously, it looks like Walter's got a little bit less than some of the other guys, but there isn't anyone that's a huge favorite here. Small blind.
All right, chop, right?
They say chop, and the small blind's going to muck, and that's going to give big blind a...
Of course, in a live cash game, we do allow the blinds to chop, but
right.
not in tournament play.
Right. Great shot I was in. As we move down.
And Mark Weedman in seat 7 actually had an ace in that hand, so he picked up a good hand in the big blind. I hear the level beeping, Denny.
Yep.
So
next
after
hand.
this hand, we're going to go up to
$1,000 ante.
$1,000 antes and 2,000, 4,000 blinds.
Exactly.
That's where it's supposed to be.
Ken Berg mucks his hand. Now Frank's looks like he's got pocket sixes from the button. Obviously any pocket pair in a four-handed game is big, and he's going to raise.
13.
He's going to make it 13,000 total. So he's making about 3.5 times the big blind.
I got a powerhouse. You know you don't.
And he's going to take it down.
Now we know why there's a bounty on his head.
Okay, so we're looking at $1,000 antes, 2 and 4 blinds.
2,000, 4,000 blinds.
What?
Sign in, Brian.
So we got 4,000 antes plus another 6,000. There's
10,000 in the middle.
hand.
Yep, 10,000 to try to pick up those things.
2 and 4,000 blinds.
And what did I say there was on the table?
225 total, so.
Ah, we're playing the game.
Is this more to your liking? 10,000 pot already.
See, no lead is safe. That's what I like about it.
Walter Lack, I'm looking in seat 1. He's got a king-9 suited. Pretty good hand, four-handed. Button's going to muck his 7-8 offsuit. Lack's going to come in for a raise from the small blind. He's going to push it all in. And Ken Berg's got a queen-9 suited. Not necessarily a hand that you would call. I guess it would depend on how many chips there would be there, Denny.
What do you think, Frank?
Not a great hand.
You want to make a stand? This is the time to do it.
You know, you're going to be an underdog against any ace, Denny.
Yeah, right.
And he was dominated, and he mucked the hand.
What? I can roll in on that. 4,000?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm not paying.
Thank you.
Put 1,000 on first.
So 1,000 ante.
2,000, 4,000. Yeah, but 1,000 ante.
1,000 ante.
We're not going to let you get away with that.
And 2,000.
2,000, 4,000.
It's wild, baby.
Ken Berg in the small blind, Frank Mariani in the big
They're all
blind.
coming in clumps now.
2,000, 4,000
Coming in big
blinds.
clumps.
I always root for the dog.
Seat number 7 has picked up ace king suited. Mark Weedman, seat 7.
have to count the
Big slick suited. Doesn't look like he's going to get any action though. Got a 4-8 offsuit, 4-9 offsuit, 3-6 offsuit. See how much he raises it up to.
Ah.
15,000.
He's going to make it 3.5 times the big blind.
$15,000.
I played for 12.
They can't throw them away fast enough.
Yeah.
I could put you all in with this hand.
Take 5 back.
So take 5 back and what do you call?
I don't know. If you show me your hand, I'll let you know. It's too late. Oh,
I understand. I was thinking of putting them all in.
Have you
After that.
addressed chopping in this? Have you told them that there was anything about chopping?
No.
No? You're not expect them to chop. They're going to play it out,
No,
right?
they'll probably play it out.
Okay. Especially with that second place. Guaranteed to, right?
A board.
Man, I'm salivating to get back in here.
Walter Lack, he's picked up a queen 5 offsuit, and there's Doug there, who exited the tournament earlier. Walter Lack's going to limp in here with queen 5 offsuit. Frank's going to complete from the small blind. He's got a 4-6 offsuit. The big blind gets a free ride with deuce 4 suited.
Deuce 4 suited. King Jack 4. So 6 and 7 both have a pair.
3 clubs though on the board.
Walter's got a club, but Frank's got a little bigger club.
10.
He's going to be coming down who plays it the most aggressive, and it might be Walter this hand.
Well, he's going to bet 10,000.
Play your club. Something good will happen.
It's about the size of the pot.
Frank says, I'm not going to call.
And deuce 4, who's got bottom pair here with no club. He's going to muck here, too.
He's got the best hand, but yeah, he is. He's going to muck.
I threw a pair in the
Nice bet by Walter there.
Well, Frank definitely did have the best hand. He had a pair and a flush draw.
Sure.
A higher flush draw.
Yeah.
I think Walter stole that one.
And he did.
It was a small theft if it was one.
Said it was a small theft if it was one.
I mean, we know you can't back down.
I tried to save $500. I had a pair of 4s there, Walter. Forget about it.
The flush draw.
It's up to you, Frank.
What am I thinking?
Frank Mariani's going to muck. Seat 7's going to muck.
Oh, you saw my hand? I'm sure my hand.
2,000 to call player.
Seat 7 in the small blind. He's got a queen 9 off suit.
Raise it.
Walter Lack has ace, and he's going to raise from the big blind.
You're going to eventually have to tangle with me. And I will tangle with this.
How much do you rate to there, Denny? Look like maybe 6,000 more.
I couldn't tell.
He's not going to do it yet, Walter.
Seat 7's going to
He's
muck.
going to keep on adding and adding away.
Maybe 10,000 more, actually.
With one more here and
Walter's become quite aggressive.
Well, you know, the rest of the table's kind of come pretty passive. We haven't seen a lot of moves here.
Well, that's a good play for Walter.
It's 2 and 4.
Be aggressive and steal some of them blinds. Build your stacks back up.
Yeah, I think it would have been interesting to see one of the pros make it this far, down to 4 or 5 handed, because I think we would have seen some more aggressive play. A lot of moves. Oh, look at this. Frank's got pocket kings in seat 6, 4-handed. And he's going to raise. The Buttons picked up a queen 10 suited. And he mucks.
I don't know. Yeah.
Boy, this is going to become a blind and anti-stealing contest right now, Denny. Haven't seen really anybody play back at each other yet.
I am bad. I can't trap anybody.
Ante, sir. And get a big blind, too. 4,000, please. 3 and 6 now? That's 2 and 4.
Oh, I thought it was 2 and 4.
No, it's 2 and 4. I was telling him the big blind.
Lines are 2 and 4.
Yes, sir.
I can see that Frank in the big blind has an ace. He's got an ace 6 offsuit. Ken Berg is in the small blind. The action's on him. Can't tell what he has yet.
Don't even think about it. 10,000 more.
10,000 more.
Come on, Ken.
Don't even think about it.
Get over that camera. He's raised.
He's trying to sneak in and get a free card. Give me a break.
Ken is actually called, and then Frank has raised with his ace.
Ah, he's coming in. I got you. Guaranteed I have you.
I just don't know if I want to risk it now. He's the guy to risk it, though. If I can say that.
There we go.
He's got a queen 9 offsuit. So he had limped in, completed the small blind.
Forget about it.
Frank raised with the ace. And Ken is thinking about calling the raise here.
Take all your time.
Is Mr. Chow playing with you boys?
And he's going to muck.
See, I know I have you. I'll show you.
He's going to muck.
Six
And
is
Frank
right,
shows
but
the
not
ace.
You want a gypsy
Ante,
in.
players.
You want a gypsy in for 2,000. Give me a break.
Ante, sir. 1,000. 2 and 4 blinds.
And you knew you could decide to go all in. I'm right there. So,
No,
he
you're
Turned
knows
up
that
the table mic
that
a
won't
little
work
bit
with
so we
me.
can
You
hear
don't
some of
scare
your
me.
conversation.
Big blind has an ace 6 suited.
I got these. You're baccarat. Pay the bank.
Oh, I got a big hand again.
And we're not going to see any action.
Yeah, the 7. Bank had a 9.
No, there's going to be a lot of hands like that. A lot of laydowns.
Okay, Uncle.
I would hope that somebody's going to take some initiative and start playing a little bit aggressive here.
A lot of money at stake. They're going to be careful. $40,000, a lot of money. More than I make in 2 years.
It wasn't ready. And then I asked the tournament player here if it was okay to go ahead.
The machine's not ready, they have to shuffle, keep the game going.
It's a little different than your white chip game. Yes, it's ready now, Kenny.
It just wasn't ready.
Small blind has an ace queen offsuit.
Yeah, anytime in the white chip game,
Seat
I gotta
7.
get away from that. His toy. He believes in me. Oh, yes, it is.
Let's see what Mark does here from seat 7. You would think he's going to raise.
He limped.
Two players.
He did limp.
He limped.
Yeah.
9-7-5.
I think it's on me first. No?
Well, it's got a gut shot straight draw. He's an 8.
You may want to make a move.
6,000. He's going to be aggressive here. He'll probably, my guess is pull Mark off this hand. Maybe not, no? Okay, that's twice I've been wrong.
We have action.
Well, the turn is a 4.
4 doesn't help.
Well, that's going to give...
Gives Walt an open end straight draw
he's
now.
He's got a double gutter / open end right now at 6-10.
Well, he'll take it down with that bet.
Yeah.
Good play.
Boy, that's a little bit of weak play there from Ace Queen, I think, Denny. Yeah, forehand.
Yeah. He should have been raising before the flop.
Absolutely.
Bad mistake I made.
And now we have a new chip leader.
Get Doug over here. He's ain't interested in that.
Of course, those of you that are joining us for the first time can watch all the recorded action on the archive. Just click on the on-demand banner on the right side of your screen. $14.95. Subscription gets you all the past action.
Or you can write a check for $14.95 to Denny Williams. No, don't do that, please.
Walter raises with an ace, and he takes it down.
Oh. Yeah, me up 1,000.
Four of the toughest.
Of course, we are live at the bike, unedited, unscripted, and unrehearsed.
Forget it, Frank.
We stream about 99.9% of the time cash games Wednesday through Saturday from 6 to 10 Pacific time.
What do you do the other one, Tim?
Well, would be these tournaments that we have sometimes as I go on.
However,
Raise 10.
Look at this. Now Ken Berg has picked up an ace-9. Walter Lack is raised with jack-10 from the button. See if Ken Berg puts in a re-raise here. It's raised 10,000.
Joe, two more.
Nice try.
It's shot 2,000. It's shot 2,000. I know. Hey. He said raise 10.
Walter likes to call and then raise 2 more, and it's confusing some of the players. Well, Ken's just going to call here. I would have loved to have seen a re-raise, Denny.
With the ace-9?
Yeah. Four-handed game. Frank mucks.
Mark, you want back in?
So it's going to be heads up. Ace-9 against Jack-10. We know one of the 10s is dead.
Flop is 8-6-4, all clubs. No, neither one has a club, though. So
First throw that's going to fire at this one is going to take it. Look at this. Ken Berg moves. He's going to move. Moves all in, and don't think there's any way that Jack-10 can call. And that's a pretty good play there.
He gets it.
Little did he know he had the best hand the whole time.
Yeah, it's a better hand.
Wow. What a move.
Hey, I want to mention, we have a play for free site, and we had a free roll tournament this month.
Right on Sunday.
We're going to have another one on Saturday, May 14th, and I believe we're going to do the final table live at the bike during the week. So that'll be exciting. Look for more information on the website coming soon.
What was the tournament tonight, Denny, for Stars and Stripes?
The tournament tonight was No Limit Hold'em. It was a headhunter, a bounty. So they paid $225. $25 went into a bounty pool. For every player they knock out, they win $25.
Hey, Walter, don't worry about it. We'll go to 10 o'clock. Give me a
Well, look
break.
at this. Walter Lack, he's just going to limp in with an ace here. Normally you'll see people raise.
We got airtime till 11.
Option player.
And Queen 7, 5-3 suited in seat 7 is going to get a free ride here. He's going to check. Ace 6 against 5-3 suited.
Check.
Wow. Ace 6
Ace
flops
6.
top two, up and down, top and bottom pair. 5-3 is going to check. Look at this. 8-6 is going to try
Slow
to
playing it.
create
Got
a
a full
trap.
house
He's got
now.
a full house now. You might check one more time here, Denny.
You might as well now that you got, nuts. You're going to lose them there. Yeah.
He's going to take down the pot.
Big hand for Walter.
You better believe it.
So we've seen some of the players mixing it up. Normally you're going to see somebody raise with an ace.
He
Just limped in there. We haven't seen a lot of players make any moves here.
Where's the next break?
Frank's ready for another break.
You can't go with these lemons.
Well, we're
Which won't be for a while. Got another hour.
Yeah, we've got the next level is 1,500 ante, 3,000, 6,000 lines.
Raise 10,000.
Frank is going to raise. From seat 6, he's got 3-6 suited, and he's going to make a play, and he's going to win the money. He's going to show his hand. Wow. Well, you got to do that. You can't necessarily sit around for great hands because you'll get blinded and andied out.
Can't let me run all.
So he uses his position, brings the hand in for a raise, wins all the dead money.
Kenny showed his cards.
Walter shows Queen 4 offsuit.
Button's got a Jack 10 offsuit.
Raise 10,000 again.
Look at this. Frank has got a King 8 suited, King 8 of spades. He's going to raise 10,000. Whoa, look at this. He's going to move all in. He's got Jack 10 offsuit.
Jack 10 offsuit.
So maybe he thinks that he can get Frank to lay down the hand.
Yeah, I can't see the other two call, and they don't.
It's going to depend on how much more. If it's a great amount more, there's no way that Frank can call with the King 8 suited.
That's 10.
10 there.
12. 19,500 more, sir.
19,500 more.
19.5. Now, if Frank calls and loses, going to put a nice dent in his stack there.
Well, he had raised to 10,000 before the flop. So then he'd get called with a 10,000 and then gets raised 19,000 more. So there's about...
Yeah, I know it's...
20,000, 25,000.
Well, the yellow...
About 44,000 in the pot right now.
He's got $30,500 chips right there. He's got another 25 in the blue. So he's got 55,000 left. So if he calls and loses, he's still going to be in decent shape. He's still going to have about $35,000.
So there's 27,000 in the pot before that raise by the button.
Too many good luck against you.
And that raise by the button, I think, was another 19.
Frank just said he hasn't had much luck against him, and he lays it down.
Very good draw.
So the pot was 46,000. He was getting about almost 3-to-1 call there.
I would like to run that board, though, just to see.
Yeah.
Lose 11.
Take this ante, okay? Ante, Frank. Be the big blind. 4,000, Frank, big blind.
Nice raise.
But I thought like funky little heart there.
Doesn't look like people have much in terms of cards here.
Frank might get a walk, or else Ken's going to steal the blinds.
Don't think about it.
Ken has got a 6-9 suit that he's going to complete, and it's going to get checked. So we're going to see a flop.
6-9 against 7-9.
7-9 flop top pair.
7-4 deuce.
Gets checked to Frank, and he's going to bet.
Smells like a $7,000 rat.
Hey, play bad. What do you want?
Says you smell like a $7,000 rat.
And a 9. I had you by one card. Had you carry.
Take it down. Gets back the money he lost from the previous hand.
We got our eye on you now, Frank.
Ante, please.
Frank in the small blind, he's got Queen 10 offsuit. Let's see what he does here. He just mucks it. Wow. Doesn't even want to play with seat 7 there.
All right.
No, he said he doesn't want to take
$1,500
it.
ante.
Going up.
3 and 6,000 blinds.
1,500 ante, 3,000, 6,000 blinds.
Be all in every hand.
Let me see here. 1, 3, 6. So they got 1 more hour till the break.
Are we going to do a 4-for-4 trade?
Players were asking when the next break was.
Well, I got to imagine with 10,000, 20,000 blinds, which is in the next 2 levels, when there's only 225,000 chips in play, they can't really get through that level, right? As a tournament director, I'm asking you. When each big blind is 1/10 the entire chip total for the table, you know,
It'll probably end in the next level.
Yeah.
But it could go. It could go there.
This I don't feel.
Frank is going to raise here from the button with 8-9 offsuit, and he's going to take down. Now we're talking about $10,500 in dead money in blinds and antes on this level. 1,503 blinds.
No, you're okay.
And I think I agree with you. I think this is going to end in the next level. The chips, the levels are just too big.
Yes. Can you the big 6,000?
And we kind of did slow down, but we're not going to have a lot of time. They're not going to have a lot of time to wait around for hands now,
One
Denny.
thing I'll know next time I play this game, not to drink so much water.
Button's got an ace-7 suited mark on the button.
Oh, man, I'm dying over here.
All right, listen. Go ahead.
Remember, each time you make a steal here, you're winning over 10,000 in chips.
I didn't hear that.
He didn't say anything yet.
I hadn't said anything yet, but I just want to let you know as you're throwing it in. I'm going to raise.
So he put in the initial call there, and he said he's going to raise. And we can tell that he's not going to get called, so it's probably not going to matter. 4 Jack and 7-5 offsuit.
Yeah, it's become a dogfight all of a sudden. You know?
Well, he's trying to figure out, you know, how much to raise. Usually when you only have about 6 or 7 times the big blind. Usually when you only have 6 or 7 times the big blind, you usually just push all in, so he might have a little bit more than that. He's not going to get any action. And he picks up 10,000 chips.
Yeah, that was a bad hand you had, Ken. That's really an interesting hand. I mean, nobody has those kind of cards.
1,500 ante.
$6 grand there, Frank.
You got all live cards there.
You think Frank's from New York?
Maybe.
Got that little bit of East Coast accent.
Walter Lackey's picked up King 7 offsuit, but Ken Berg's got an ace-jack suited in a small blind. And if Walter's going to raise, which he is, you're probably going to see Ken come over the top here all in, I would imagine. Ace-jack suited, four-handed.
Number 13, so. 13 more.
I just don't think that Ken has the chips to call. It's either an all-in or a muck. And obviously, you're not going to muck four-handed with ace-jack suited.
40 more minutes before it goes after.
He should call.
Wow.
He's just calling.
Wow, I'm really, really surprised by that because it didn't look like he had that many chips left there, Denny.
I'd rather not.
Maybe he's got more than I thought. Well, the problem is he's got the best hand, and if he doesn't flop a pair, is he going to check fold on the flop?
Well, he's
got the ace.
Ace 6-5.
See if he gets tricky and checks, and he does. We've seen him do this before. And let's see what Walter does.
Check.
And he checks right behind him. Oh, God, and that might get
that's gonna
Walter
hurt
to call.
Walter. That's going to hurt Walter.
And now Ken Berg moves all in.
Boy, if Ken only knew what he really had, he would have checked that.
He's got 16,000.
And he would have let Walter make the all-in move there. Walter doesn't have a kicker. That's what's hurting him.
He's going to muck. And
good lay down.
You know, Ken Berg only had 16 left. He called 10,000 there. With the blinds this size, only leaving him with 16 left, and the blinds are 3-6, Denny, I really think the proper play there is to move all in on the flop.
You're probably
you just don't have the amount of chips to play there.
I think he was just playing safe and wanted to look at the flop.
Well, I know, but at that point, if you're going to check and fold on the flop, you know, it's
I'll call you back in a few.
you're not going to have enough chips to play maybe one round after that. So.
It's up to you, Walter.
Jerry come from Las Vegas. That's what I'm doing.
It's on you, Walter.
All right. Cool.
Frank just said that was Jerry Buss on the phone.
Yeah, Jerry Buss calling from Las Vegas.
Now Ken's picked up an ace-9 offsuit on the button. Ken, of course, the former owner of Kookaroo Chicken. And look at this, seat number 6. Frank has got pocket jacks, and we might see Ken go broke this hand. Looks like he's got about 50,000 in chips. See how much he's going to raise.
Frank might want to go all in here.
He raised to 20. I think you're right. I think Frank goes all in right here.
13.
13.
Only 13. Let's see what Frank does. This is one of these cases where you might not want to lose customers. You think that Ken might be making a steal. Let's see what Frank does here.
There's a dead jack out there, though.
Frank has got pocket jacks. There's a raise on the button by ace-9. He's counting his chips up. We know that seat 7 is going to muck. And he just smooth calls there.
That's dangerous.
Well, it is dangerous, but I think it's more of a trap when you're four-handed, Denny. It's more of a trap play. He was afraid if he re-raised Ken might not call him.
Look at this.
Look at that. The case jack comes on the flop.
Let's see how this is played.
Case jack comes on the flop. Ace jack 7.
Ken's going to move all in.
Ken's going to move all in with his ace, of course.
Frank's going to call.
Frank's going to instant call with his set of jacks.
Well, you need 3 aces, my friend.
He said you need 3 aces,
Unbelievable.
And if that third ace comes, it ain't going to help him either. Frank's got trip jacks.
Well, he can catch running aces, Denny.
Well,
that's
sure
the only
could.
thing. And it's
over.
That's going to do it.
Nothing.
There we go.
Yep.
Frank Mariani. Does he cover Ken? That's the question.
Oh, I think so.
He probably does.
Well, there goes my pick.
That was a good pick, though. Ken's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
These are 10. 10.
20, 30, 30,500. Yeah, he's got it covered. He's got you covered.
Frank covers. Frank's the chip leader here.
Well, Denny, I always preach about how I like to fast play sets. There's an example of a great slow play.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Because you definitely don't want to bet in there in a tournament when you're forehanded and scare a guy away. Because he thinks you're representing an ace.
So Ken Berg just loses a big pot to Frank Mariani, knocks him out of the tournament, and Frank wins that with jacks full of 7s against aces up.
1,500 ante.
We're down to 3 players here.
And I would love to see Frank start pushing some chips around here. He's got a commanding chip lead. Start using those chips, Denny.
Sure does.
Steal those blinds, steal those antes.
Yes, sir.
Look, Walter doesn't have many chips in the big blind here. Frank's in great shape. And he picks up pocket jacks again, Denny.
Oh, my
He's got
goodness.
pocket jacks again. Unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to raise.
And he's going to raise.
That's why he's the toughest guy in the game. He had to put a bounty on him.
I'm going to raise 15,000.
15,000. He's going to raise it. That'll make it 21,000 total bet.
28 callers. I had the same pocket jack.
And everybody folds.
He's going to show him. He's got pocket jacks again.
Pocket jack.
Somebody, stop that man!
See how many chips Walter has there in seat number 1.
Ante, please.
Not
Walter's
much.
got 5 in blue. He's top 3. And he's got another 5, maybe 8.
8,000.
He's got about 10,000 right in front.
10,000. The blinds are 3 and 6.
Plus he's got 3 in the pot, so 13,000.
So he can only really play one more round here, Denny. That's it.
Yeah, go ahead. Do whatever you want.
When this is over, I'm going to run outside to tie up the loose ends.
Right on you. Right at the camera. I'm like, no.
Look at this. He's picked up pocket 9s here. Unbelievable.
Frank is on fire, and he could very well get a call from either one of these guys.
Well, ace 5.
Depending on how much he bets here.
Ace 5 raises from the button. Let's see what seat 1 does. Seat 1 is mucked.
He mucked.
And you would figure that Frank's going to try to put the guy all in with 9s here, Denny. 9s is a great hand, 3-handed. Come on, Frank, push those chips all in.
He's trying to stack them first.
Yeah.
Stop stacking and play.
Well, I'm thinking.
I'm stacking, leave me alone.
You look
15,000.
look very awkward doing that. You look like a guy's never done it before.
Frank Mariani's got 20, 40, 60, 80.
I call. I was always calling.
He's got well over 100,000.
I would have loved to have seen him push over the top there, Danny. I would have loved to have seen him push over the top.
There are 2 players.
Well, he's in a great position here. Let's see if there's a raggy flop and he can check raise the guy all in.
Or spike a 9. No, an ace comes. Here comes the ace.
I check.
Seat 7's probably going to move all in here.
more nervous than if you bet.
Gee, I
Well,
don't
this
know
is
what
one
I'm
of
supposed
these
to do.
times
Check,
when
bet, raise.
players get a little bit tricky.
All right, I'll go in, he says.
Well, I'll give you credit for ace or a king. I should put you all in before the flop.
Yeah, he just said it.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
You're right, Frank. You should have put them all in before the flop. Mark says he would have called. Did we see a rabbit card by any chance? No, we're not going to get one.
Queen?
1,500 ante.
Click a queen, he
Looks
said.
like a queen.
Ante, sir. Ante, Frank.
I go, if you have a set of 3s, you win.
Walter's in pretty bad shape right
Yeah,
here.
he is.
These guys got him right in the middle.
I was thinking.
He needs to get lucky here.
I was thinking I should go all in.
And that's definitely what it's got to be at this point. Luck, you know, when you're so short stacked.
I mean, I wasn't really.
Yeah, no, I know.
I was trying to think, what about
But anything's possible. This is no limit Texas Hold'em. Queen Jack, seat 1.
7,500.
Ace King, seat 7. So Queen Jack's going to move all in, and obviously Ace King is going to call 3-handed.
I would think so.
Yeah, from the big blind. That's a pretty easy call.
Desperate, Mark. I'm desperate.
7,500 more. That's what he says it is.
He's going to see 1 ace and call, and he's get Ace King.
I call.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get it on, baby. Let's get it on. What do you got?
Queen Jack against Ace King.
Ace King is favored here, about 60-40.
I seriously don't
think of it.
I like your hand.
See the flop.
8-5-3.
It's not going to help either player. Ace King is still ahead.
6 of clubs. And a 10. Ace King's going to take it down. Walter Lack is out of the tournament. He played a good game, though.
Then there were 2.
What?
Just trying to see how much we can get in. Well, we've got 225,000 chips totally in play. I'm going to think that Frank wants to take a break here. It's not quite scheduled.
The players are asking to take a bathroom break here.
Heads up here. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a break.
So Frank Mariani could win his own bounty if he takes this down. This is exciting.
When it goes to heads up, whoever had the big blind last week.
So I think that we're going to...
I'm going to leave this here.
Yes, King.
Denny, we're going to come back here in probably 5 minutes. You guys can please tune in and watch the heads up action.
And we'll be right back.
No, I will beat Mark. Trust me. Because he's not going to beat me. I'm going to win it all. Guaranteed.
chip count. Just trying to make sure they're not mixing it.
Okay, boy, what an exciting table this was.
Yeah, nice.
Frank and Mark, right?
Yeah.
Frank might win his own bounty.
He's guaranteed his money back. Hopefully not.
Move on, Danny.
They're head up. They're just taking a little break. Frank Mariani and Mark, I don't know Mark's last name.
103,000. I'm sorry, 103,500.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah, 103,500. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 110, 115, 120,500. Might be 1,000 off when I race up 100. Two of these in there. Might be $1,000 difference. Should be 224. Right? I didn't see it. I didn't see when I raced up the hundreds. There were two of these stuck inside the $100 chips. They look close. I was wondering why I had. Yeah, I was wondering why I had. It's too late anyway.
HP for $200. I need chips on board, please. HP, $200. Last call, HP. IK, $200. IK.
All right, well, we're getting there. Well, at least I got some ammo too here. Oh man! Mark, if you look at it, you're in a free roll for 45. 40 for first, and then 5 back. Oh yeah, that's right. And I'm not, and I got a few chips too, so we're not.
103,500.
What's that?
You have 103,500.
What does Frank have?
He has 120,000.
Oh,
21,000.
that's pretty close. Wow. Yeah. And Frank's tough as nails, isn't he? Yeah, he sure is. Boy. You want to take him out real quick?
Yeah, that's what I
okay.
do. Okay. Go ahead and
okay, great. All right. Thanks for Hey, you almost came back there, Walter. You were.
I know, I was great. I was as low as you could go, and then
You
double
were
and
tipped
double.
later at one point. You know that one hand I had where I smooth called you?
Yeah.
And on the thing I had ace queen, and I should have raised. I was hoping you would raise, and you did. And then the flop came, and I didn't know if you hit part of the flop. So I called the 6,000 to try to see.
Oh, no, I had a full house. I tripped sixes and aces. Aces over sixes. You know, the last card came was a 6, made me a full house. I had aces and sixes.
This was the one. This is the one where.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the one where
the other
you
hand.
were thinking about calling. And it was only a $10,000 bet.
there was one where you bet 6,000 on the flop, and then you bet 10,000 on the turn.
That's the one.
Oh, you got a huge turn. Oh shit! I had ace queen.
I know, and I saw it when you turned it over. I said, I understand. No, you didn't turn it over, but I saw it. It was ace. You had ace. I think I turned it over, but I knew you had a pair of aces. Full house.
Get it on. Oh, that's a different hand. I think.
Are you gonna need a car? You have your car.
Ryan.
You brought Mike.
Ryan.
How are you gonna get home?
Ryan.
Beverly Hills. Okay. Because I can get a car for him.
Yeah, if anybody needs anything, we'll make arrangements.
Sit down, Frank.
No
Let's go.
problem.
No problem. Yeah, absolutely.
But I keep the bounty.
Oh, you want to keep the bounty?
Not done yet.
You want to chop that?
No, it's not done. Look at what you
$1,500
ante, blinds are 3 and 6,000.
1,500
ante, 3 and 6,000.
1,500. Andy, up, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
So the one who wins gets so how much?
But you're gonna have it on.
Okay, so it's the winner would get 27.5, the loser gets 17.
I saw I was watching.
Yeah. 45. What's the total? 50. I think that includes the bounty. Oh, it is? Okay. All right. The winner gets 10 more than the loser. Perfect. That's great. Thanks. All right. Yep, ready? You're ready. Good luck.
You too.
Good luck.
Guaranteed a $5,000.
What did we play? 20,000 blind?
Yeah, 1,500 blind.
Huh?
1,500 blind.
$1,500 ante, blinds are 3
yeah,
and 6,000.
1,500.
You can have the big blind here, Frank.
And I'm on the
Mark, you can have the small blind.
And we're back live at the bike.
I need ante.
We're head up here, Frank Mariani and Mark. Do you know Mark's last name? I'm sorry.
It's like Weedman. That's the way I've been
Mark
saying
Weedman.
all that time. Frank has got 120,500, and Mark's got 103,000.
I had to. There wasn't much money.
So
500.
Frank's got a little bit of an advantage here. Still pretty close. And with these blinds, we're still playing 3-6.
I'm going to raise.
So we're heads up here.
We got a raise here.
Look at this. Both players have aces here.
Ace
Danny.
6, Ace 5.
Yep.
Mark's raising.
10,000.
Frank's a little bit afraid of Mark. He feels he's luckier than he is.
Well, let's see what Frank does here.
This is a classic. I was talking to Frank on the break there, and he's a little worried about this. So.
This is a classic heads up. When you're heads up in this type of tournament, Danny, on the first betting round, pre-flop, the button actually acts first because there's a small blind.
Right,
and then after the flop, of course, Frank is going to be first to act after the flop.
All right.
See a flop
He
here.
calls.
10, deuce, 8. Wow, check.
Each one of them has a club. There's another 8.
Got to think that your ace is good right now, you would think. Wow, check, pretty passive. River's a 9.
Well, it's going to be a chop pot if nobody bets. They're going to chop this up. Ace each.
Chop it up.
6th place.
No 6th place. Right? 8, 8, 9, 10, and an ace. That's the best 5.
So we're still
same place.
Still in the same place, in the same chip count.
Oh, no harm, no foul.
To the finest.
Ante. 1,500 ante.
Nobody could get the bounty money.
1,500. Ante 1,500. And 3,000.
So we're heads up here. Frank is going to be the button in the small blind. Mark.
I can't do it.
With a couple of guest visitors here as we don't see any action. Ken Berg is joining us in the booth. Ken, how you doing tonight? Obviously you finished, I think it was in 3rd spot, right? Or 4th spot tonight. And there you go. I got to tell you that you were my pick to win. And I think you played pretty well. just got unlucky when the guy caught a set of jacks against your ace there.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Let's make much difference.
You know, it was funny. The hand before, it was a little bit surprised when you had ace jack suited that you didn't go over Mr. Lack there in seat 1 when he had raised. I don't know if you remember you had ace jack suited.
I wanted to trap him and get
So
away.
it was for a trap. That's why it was.
All
Okay.
his chips, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was actually speculating that might be. Now we're going to see a 6-8 queen on the flop, 2 hearts. Mark here on the buttons flop top pair. And Frank's got bottom pair here. Mark's going to bet 10,000. Any pair heads up is usually good, Ken, right?
I know it is.
But Frank's going to muck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any ace is good, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And right before you came in here, we saw both players had aces pre-flop. And played it pretty passively, you know. Mark raised. Frank just called with his ace. And it was just checked down on the whole board was checked down and ended up in a chop pot. Chip stacks are pretty even. Looks like Frank's got a slight edge. He's got about 120,000. Mark's got about 105,000, 103,000.
Oh, that's a real clear picture, too.
Look at this, Mark. He's got king, queen, offsuit.
You know what you're talking about, Mark.
Oh, wow.
And look at this. Frank's picked up pocket eights from the button.
And he didn't raise?
He did raise. He did raise.
Mark's going to probably raise him.
Yeah, of course, in the button, when it's heads up, the button actually moves first, acts first when it's heads up. So Frank has raised here.
I'm going to raise.
And look at this.
I knew it.
Mark is going to re-raise. Let's see the question, how much. We could see a classic race situation here, Ken.
52 to 48%.
Yeah, there you go.
I would bet on Frank.
Raise 30,000.
He's going to re-raise to 30,000. And now it's up to Frank with pocket eights.
He's going to call.
He calls.
Sure, he has to call.
Well, again, you guys are really familiar with each other's games. You play almost every single week, right, together.
Yeah. He had a call.
A lot of players who actually might push over
Might
the
have gone
top
over
there.
the top
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
and would have knocked Mark out.
Oh, let's see a flop here.
Oh.
Ooh, ace, queen, king. You know, pocket eights is still in the lead, but there's just no way Frank can know that. He has position. It's actually, excuse me, king, queen flopped a queen, I'm sorry. And
Yeah,
he
he
checked
flopped
it
a
from
queen.
up front, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good flop. He's trying to trap Frank now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go all in.
And look at this, now he's going to move all in. So he checked the flop,
Frank's not going to call.
Next hand going up, gentlemen.
and we hear the level beeper in the background.
He's not going to call.
Well, Mark checked the flop and then moved all in on the turn. He has the best hand with king, queen. Well, he's making it look like he's thinking
No.
about it, Ken.
He's not going to call. He can't call.
Well, I tend to agree with you.
It'd sure disappoint me if he did. I'm betting on Frank not to call.
You know, that type of play might represent that he was trying to trap with an ace, or that he had a queen and was afraid of the ace, and now you wonder if
Well, Frank's a good player.
you wonder
He's
if
a
Frank
real
had
good
put in a
player.
bet on the flop there, what Mark would have done with his king queen. Again, it's a $40,000 payout for first place, $5,000 for second place, with a $5,000 added bounty on Frank's head.
Yeah.
So this is a $50,000 decision, Ken. That's a lot of money by anyone's standards.
I agree. Come on, Frank, turn your hand over.
Remember the action? We had a raise, we had a re-raise.
All right,
I surrender. We had Frank call, and he's going to
See,
muck.
I knew he'd do it. That's good. Good board.
And look at the river, the rabbit cam.
Was
It's
it
an
8?
8. Unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. It was the right lay down, though, Ken.
How do you get the pocket so quick? Does she do it?
Well, there's a little camera right above that microphone there. If you see the microphone,
Yeah, I
we
see
get
it.
the main view. And there we go. See, right to the right of the microphone right there. She just rub it right over the camera.
I get it. Okay.
I give it 10,000? 10 chips, yeah. 5,000. Oh, wow.
Wait till I tell Frank.
I don't know if you want to tell him that.
Well, you've made tapes, right? For all the
We're going to
players?
get you some recordings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, because I have you.
So he'll be able to see it.
We're not going to see any action here.
Walter, his luck was still running. He would have won.
5,000, 10,000. All right. Let's see. 5, 10, 15. I'd probably say, well, yes, we had, either a pair or 12 pair.
2002.
I always called, but
2002. And 10. That's 2,000. That's 5 more. 10,000.
Small blind's always on the button. 10,000.
Yeah.
Big shifts in this game.
So we're going to see a couple of queens, or we see queen 4 against queen 7.
plus 20,000 more.
Look at this. Frank's going to make a move here on the button. Oh, and it's a jack. It's on the queen.
Mark's going to fold.
Yep. Jack 7 against queen 4, and Mark's going to fold. These players play pretty straightforward, don't they, Ken?
I play with him twice a week.
Yeah.
I know what he does, pretty much.
Who would you say, and this might not be a fair question to you, but who would you say is the stronger player, Jerry Buss or Frank?
Pocket 8s.
Jerry Buss.
Jerry Buss, yeah.
Give me a break.
Of course, tournaments are always different than the cash games, and we're playing a tournament. Usually your weekly game is a cash game.
Jerry's good in both games.
Really? Yeah. Oh, we're going to see a muck here from
Now you're playing a game.
Again, in heads-up play, it's a unique situation where the button acts first, pre-flop, and then when the flop occurs, the button is last to act. But because the button is the small blind heads-up, it has to act first. The only time that the button would ever act first. Blinds right now.
Race. 25,000.
5,000, 10,000. The $2,000 ante.
25.
Frank is going to raise,
You're
and
going
he's
to be
going to
rob
pick
you
it
all
up.
this time and keep on letting me rob you. You gotta, you just can't throw your money away.
I'm pretty easy to bluff.
Every time you pick up a blind here, Ken, you're picking up the big blind, which is 10,000, and you're picking up his ante, which is 2,000. So if you can steal, you're picking up 12,000 chips to the other player just by not seeing a flop.
But it would take all week to collect all the chips just that way.
At this level. But of course, we're only playing 20-minute levels, so the next level is 10,000, 20,000.
Hi. All right.
So he's going to complete it, and it's just going to be checked here.
Trap is set. Execute.
Queen 3 against 4-7. Wow, ace, ace 9 on the flop. Check, check. Turn is an 8.
And check again.
And look at this. Frank actually has made a flush. He's made a queen eye flush, but he checked blind on the river.
He got a big hand, flush.
He didn't even know he had the flush.
Well, he checked blind on the river.
Thank you. Well, if he's bad, I don't know what I was going to do.
He's been a little bit passive heads up. These guys, you know, they're capable of making moves sometimes, though.
I have an idea what you might do at the end.
Absolutely. Mark is probably the sharp one.
Yeah.
he should win. He'll be able to trap Frank one of these times.
Oh, look at this. Ace-Jack, and Frank folds to the Ace-Jack. So Mark finally picks up a good hand.
2,000?
Yes.
Let me kick it up again.
Ken, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And Denny's going to take over. Thanks a lot. It was nice to meet you.
4,000 and 2,000 and 20,000.
I don't want to break your concentration. You're queens against, he had eights.
Yeah.
On the river, third eight.
No way!
All right. Well, it's nice to have Ken in here. Ken just told me, turn down just a little bit. Ken just told me we're gonna do this again next week.
Yeah.
Same players, except Frank is not gonna play. Jerry Buss will play.
Denny, we've got two aces here. Ace-7 against Ace-8.
Oh my goodness.
25,000.
And look at this. Frank is going to raise. He's going to raise 25,000.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Mark said he was going to raise.
Whoa, and you know what? Frank might be able to pick up, a little tell because he thought that Mark had just called.
Right.
But Mark is going to raise.
Mark said he's going to raise.
25,000.
Get 25,000.
And he's going to raise to 25,000. Now, Frank's got the better hand with the better kicker. He's got Ace-8. He has a suited ace, Ace-8 of diamonds. Last time we saw him just call in this spot with an ace. He is out of position. Boy, heads up, that's a pretty big hand, Denny. Ace-8 suited.
Yeah. The puck.
Wow. And he
That's a big hand.
Wow, Denny.
I didn't know. I'm sorry, I'll say it louder next time. I did say raise. So.
That's that's fine. I
Well, when I'm playing heads up, I'm dreaming of those cards. I'm probably not going to muck.
And 2,000 and
10,000. I tell you, this is a war over here. It takes some.
Frank's got Jack-4 off suit against 4-5 suited.
Oh, guys, so.
Frank's going to muck from the button. A lot of times, too, it's almost worth trying to call, even with any two cards, heads up here. Because if you don't get raised, you have position on the guy the rest of the hand. And, they have all that money in the pot, plus the antes.
I wonder if these guys made any sort of a save, a deal, which is not uncommon in a tournament. They might have talked amongst each other and said, hey, Frank or Mark, let's save 10,000 each or 20,000 each and play for something,
Russ McGinley writes, somebody break out the rigged deck so we can see some action. Wave up the midget under the table and tell him to switch the deck that's in the auto shuffler. That's making a reference to Ken and James from last night. Yes, we have been getting a little bit behind in our 2+2 reading. There's been a lot going on.
We haven't been paying attention to 2+2 because his game is so juicy. See, we only use you guys when it's slow. we're having a good night here. But we love you still.
20,000.
$20,000. Mariani's betting. Is 6-7 suited. How do you play this? Do you call or raise or fold or?
Well, the way that Frank, I'm skewed by the fact that I've seen Frank lay down hands.
He's
with
calling.
Aces.
Mark's calling.
Oh, he's going to call with the suited connector. 6-7.
No, he's got the Jack-10.
Oh, he's got Jack-10. Excuse me, the raise was with the suited connector. You're right.
This one too short. Thank you.
Ace-King 6.
Ace-King 6. Frank's got the best hand.
Oh, Frank doesn't
checking it.
bet. He raised pre-flop and he flopped a pair.
Ah, that's a bad card.
And he's got a flush
card.
draw now, too. And he checks again. And now he's made two pairs. And now he moves all in.
Boy.
Wow.
And Mark's got a decision here because he got a 10. Made him a pair on the turn.
Denny, Frank had the 6. And on the turn, he had a flush draw. And he checked right behind on the turn. It's pretty passive play there. And now he's made 7s up.
Well, I have have to give you credit. Nice bet.
Mark's going to lay it down.
Yeah, I knew it. I put you on 6-7.
Yeah. It's easy to say after the hand's over, but I don't know if he really did.
You're not going to do drop off the hand.
2000
They're probably about even in chips here, these guys.
You know, I've gained some respect from some of these guys play, the way that these guys have played during the full table. I just, you know, I think that they need to gear it up a little bit here, and they're missing some opportunities to make some moves shorthanded. Usually when you have a pair, that's gold. Shorthanded.
Right.
Now, if you've got a pair with a flush draw and you're the original raiser and there's an ace-king up on board with your scare cards.
Platinum.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Where'd that card head come from?
I was ready to make a move right there, too. I was going to go, I can't get bullied around by this guy all night. I'm going to have to come over the top of my 4-7. No, I don't think so. It's a battle, isn't it?
It's a battle.
We've got a Jack-7 offsuit.
JB for 100, JB. Knock it up for JB. Keith, Peter, knock the 100 for JB.
It's still approximately the same, I think.
About the same percentage as when we started.
Didn't see any action there.
Front, I think we're about average.
4-7 offsuit. Deuce 4 offsuit. Boy.
Good.
Hope we see a hand here pretty soon, Danny.
Yeah.
We'll be kicking this up again anyway.
You'll be kicking it up pretty soon here, Frank.
I know how much more pressure I can take. I'm going to have to go all in with nothing.
It's going to happen real fast.
No bad yet.
Well, we've got a pocket fours. Seat 6 has got pocket fours. That's Frank with a small blind on the button. And he just calls. Wow.
All right, go ahead.
No, maybe he's trying to lay down a trap here, Danny. Problem is, you're going to get a bunch of overcards. You're going to flop. You don't know where you are.
Yeah, right. Oh, look, he gets a 4.
But look at this. 6-3's flopped to straight.
Oh,
and this is where we
goodness.
can see all the chips go in here, Denny.
We are going to see all the chips go in.
7-5-4 on the flop. Set of 4s. 6-3's got a straight.
It's all in.
You got
Goes all in, and they're going to call.
Frank needs a full house here.
Frank's going to have a redraw. He's going to draw for a full house.
Hold on, dealer. Hold on, dealer.
Wow. See the board's got a pair for Frank.
And a queen.
Let's see if Frank had him covered. Is that going to do it?
Wow.
Well, let's see what you got.
He's got more than you, Frank.
You think so?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Frank had more than me.
All right, we'll see.
I don't know.
Oh, he's got 2 moves.
I want to be cute with the pair 4s.
No. No, what do you mean?
So we're going to see. I think that Frank may.
I think Frank covers him.
That's even.
Wow, well, we were going to wait for one of those hands there, Danny. It's just...
With a 4,
These are even. Unbelievable.
Huh?
Unbelievable, yeah.
I said, I'm going to screw around with this hand. I said, I'm going to screw around with this hand here, and... Yeah, you better believe it.
2, 3, 4, 45.
If I played it, I was supposed to play it. I was scooping around.
All right, Frank's still alive. He's badly injured.
The perfect flop tape for both of us.
Great flop.
Yeah.
Got a pair just as easily.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
What is it? It's
2000
can't call.
No.
5 and 10. 2010. 2001.
I had a lot more chips than you have. Forget about it.
Well, Frank still has 30-something thousand. That definitely injured him. But he's not out of it yet.
That was pretty cute. That was pretty cute.
Well, Frank's picked up an ace. I can see one ace. He's got an ace-9, and Mark's got an ace-deuce, so Mark's probably going to put them all in here in seat 7, and he does.
Mark's suited also.
Yeah, so it's called ace-9 against ace-deuce.
33, 34, 35, 36,000.
Oh, open the card.
Oh. I gotta get lucky. Wait till they get their money in. Well, she can count it. Let them enjoy
36. Put it at 36.
Make sure nobody else goes over there.
Okay, perfect.
So it's going to be ace-deuce suited against ace-9. Frank's a pretty big favorite here.
36.
Total 36.
Total 36. All right. 36. Here we go.
36,000.
You dominated.
Here we go. This could be the final hand of the night.
Playing bad is what happened.
Flop is 8-6-5.
8, 7.
There's another 8.
You got
a straight, Frank.
And a 3. Frank's going to take it down with ace-9.
Very nice, Frank.
Ace-9 is going to take it down.
So he's still in there.
He doubles up.
Free card.
So he's going to have, I think, about
What did you say, 36,000 was the bet?
Well, it was total, so he's going to have about 72,000.
Plus the blind.
Oh, no, believe me.
So-
Are you kidding me?
2000.
Mark still has Frank about 2-1.
That's right. It's only 2-1 right now. Yeah. It's only 2-1.
There might be a few coin flips.
Frank just coming back.
King Queen for seat 7 there. Let's see if Frank picks up a hand in seat 6. And it's an ace-10, and we're going to see it all in here again, Denny.
Yeah,
Most likely.
No more free cards. I don't like this free cards.
We're probably going to see another all in.
Did Frank say he's going all in?
You got it.
Look at this. Mark goes all in. Now Frank calls.
Here we go. Here we go.
again. King 10 against ace.
All right, I'm in.
King Queen against ace 10.
You open the card and we count the chip rate.
Now, if Frank wins this hand, he's going to be the chip leader again.
Yep, it's going to be almost even. But
Give
Frank's
him
going
like
to be the chip leader.
140,000, 150,000. There's an ace.
Well, King 10's got a straight draw.
A 10.
No way.
A 10. A 10.
No, ace is up. Frank Mariani wins that pot. We got a new chip leader again.
You gotta gamble, heads up. I'm not going anywhere with King Queen, heads up.
Now, if this isn't exciting poker, I don't know what is.
You do it again the next hand. He had a good hand.
Heads up, man.
I'm not going to throw my hand over. You know that. Huh? Huh?
I like Mark's hand, too.
I know.
1, 2, 3,000. One more time. Nice hand, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
All right, now the worm has turned.
Actually, we're going up this hand.
Let me go.
We're going up this hand?
Mark will get it if he wins.
It's a $4,000 ante. Blinds are going to be 10,000,
20,000. Sure, why not? We need to buy some more chips. The blinds are bigger than what we have in front of us.
10 and 20.
So,
I got 20. You got to put in 10,000.
one stack of the brown, and one stack of blue. 9.
All right, here we go. Going to start a new hand here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Blinds are 10 and 20,000, I believe.
What is it? 10,000.
10 and 20. It's a new level there, Denny. You're right.
10,000.
Antes are $4,000.
$4,000 ante. 34,000 a hand.
And you're right. Frank is probably the chip leader, but by barely. They're almost even.
No. Frank is the chip leader.
Right. But I don't think it's a... Is it a considerable amount?
Yes.
Considerable amount?
Well, when you see one guy with all blue chips and one guy with all yellow chips, it's...
Seat 7's going to go all in here. Well, that's a good point, Denny. I just had tried to do some of the math out of it.
I can figure it out.
Mark is all in.
That's 10,000. He's got about 66,000.
66,000. That means Frank has like 160,000, right?
What is the name now?
So he was almost a little bit. Now he's probably a 2-1 favorite.
Yeah.
10,000.
Yeah, you got to put whatever.
Boy, in terms of the amount of hands that we've seen, this is one of the longest shootouts I've ever seen compared to the level size, the timing of the levels. Heads-up action has just been crazy. Jack 10 offsuit. Mark's going to move. Oh, look at this. Is it Frank? Frank moves all in. 6-8 against Jack 10. Frank moved all in with 6-8. Jack 10 called.
Oh, my goodness.
Jack 10. Oh, there's a 6.
The 6 is going to win. Frank Mariotti just won this tournament. Oh, my goodness. We're going to be running outside here in just a moment, interview the players, and do the payout. We will keep the table mic on.
Go, Jerry.
That's a lot of fun, Frank. Yeah,
This is really fun. Who won it?
Frank.
Jerry, I want my own bounty. I want my own bounty. You predicted it, right? You predicted it, right? Oh, you're too late. You're impossible, Jerry. You are totally impossible.
Oh,
I know. Better. I love you. Listen, I'll call you back in a few minutes. They want to do something over there. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll call you in a few minutes. I'll tell you.
Frank, why don't you have a seat? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on tonight's win. You know, so you've won your own bounty tonight. The Bicycle Casino added $5,000 on you, and you've won your own bounty. Tell me about, you played a little bit tight early on, and take some risks. You played a little bit tight early on, take some risks towards the end.
Did you see my cards?
I did
I didn't have any cards.
Yeah, it's true. You were running a little bit cold. Running a little bit cold cards. Tell me about that hand where you flopped a set of 4s and Mark here flops them not straight. That was unbelievable.
Well, I played bad. I should have raised, but I think I goofed around the whole hand.
Yeah, you cold call with the 4s.
Yeah, cold call. I just goof off.
Yeah.
And I wanted to fill the big pot, which I did. I could have filled up at the on 4th Street of the river.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's kind of funny, too, some of the heads-up play between you and Mark that we saw. Some of you guys had aces, and I actually saw you lay down an ace-8 suited to his raise heads up. Sometimes players play aces.
I don't know what
strong.
he had, but I'll find out later.
You'll find out later, yeah. He actually had a weaker ace, but I was surprised to see you lay it down, but it worked for you.
I got it. So this is not exact science.
Absolutely.
You know how you feel.
Yeah, and you won your own.
I lost a ton of money with those 3 set of 4s.
Yeah.
Then I came back.
You came back all the way, and you were down to almost nothing there. Right. Again, just the nature of no limit, right? You were just on the phone with Jerry Buss there, huh?
Exactly.
Congratulating you.
Oh, of course.
Well, I hope to see you back here again. We're going to probably do more of these shootouts on Thursday nights. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'll see you here next week. Great.
Okay.
For bar dancing, have a good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Frank, once again.
Danny. Danny, question for you.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.